spit that real. I'm about to check it out. Assassin, look. When I want competition, I just look in the mirror. With every word that I'm spitting, then the vision is clearer. Nobody touching what I'm clutching, plus I'm busting it first. Yes, your chest will be a mess by the end of the verse. Your body stretched out like a book on the pavement. People pass by as they look in amazement. Your body leaking your genetics, got you looking so pathetic. No need to call the paramedics, it's too late for anesthetics. Me and my microphone. 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 Coming out the dirty south, show everybody I'm the cleanest. Run your mouth, I send your body to the cleaners. Love my mic, so can't nobody come between us. Won't be nice, but anybody wanna see me. Back up a little, just a couple of feet. You don't listen, you'll be missing just a couple of teeth. Hard to buy the rhyme, with no teeth in your mouth. Stepping out of line, then you sweeping them out. Me and my microphone. 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 My mic got jealous when I was talking to my girlfriend. So you know, it's like I'm caught up in a world when I'm not about the drama. I don't need that. Started yelling and all I heard was feedback. Said I need to choose, but do it quickly. Use a tool, you fool if you don't pick me. Since she made me choose, you know I left her and picked my microphone up off the dresser. Me and my microphone. 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 Me and my mic been tight since 9-5. She don't wanna go out, she stay at home and vibe. Ain't nothing without her, I doubt she'll understand. Gets upset so I can't make no plans. Wants me to herself, she is so obsessed. When I go to sleep, I can't not get no rest. Calling off my phone when I'm gone too long. Says to her, be home, she wants to make a song. Me and my microphone. 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 This microphone. Can't wait to get you in my arms and my palms. And when we home alone, it is gonna be on. You make the words to my song sound strong. When I'm with you, baby, I can do no wrong. Can't wait to get you in my arms and my palms. And when we home alone, it is gonna be on. You make the words to my song sound strong. When I'm with you, baby, I can do no wrong. You know I had to do it. I had to take it back. Dedicate this to everybody out there that's doing music. Whether you're getting paid for it or not, it don't even matter. As long as you love it, I know it's gonna love you.
What's up, Straight Talk Society? I am your host, Trevor, and welcome to another edition of the Straight Talk Sessions. This show was originally scheduled for tonight, but due to the holiday and due to my panel guest, my co-host being available right now, we decided to rock a little earlier. So before I bring them on, those of you that are listening on Facebook, on the Straight Talk Society page. Oh, I'm just talking. I haven't even asked y'all. Can you guys hear me? All right, I see you guys typing in the chat. Just let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. All right, so it's a go. All right, so those of you listening in on Facebook on the Straight Talk Society page, you can come on the panel if you want. We found that out. So if you're listening over there, I will drop a link. You could come on the StreamYard link if you want. Join the panel, join the discussion. So this is a show that I've been looking forward to doing because it might get a little heated. There's going to be all in love, all in fun. So let me just give you a little backstory before I bring my guest on. We have a group that we've been throwing around ideas, like podcast topic ideas and things like that. And every now and then something will come up that'll just get one of us really heated. And, then the other two may disagree with that person. And so now this is one where me and my male guests agree almost 100%, and our female guest doesn't agree. So, and I'm pretty sure other females out there listening that you guys probably won't agree either. So you're more than welcome to come on the panel. I mean, we can have a dialogue, because as you see from the title, the name of this show is She Can't Wear That. So right then and there, I know some woman's going to be out there and saying, oh, here's a man trying to tell me what I can and can't do with my body. So yeah, it's going to be that type of show today. So first off, let me bring on the lovely Dr. Mia. What's going on? Uh-oh, are you muted?
I'm unmuted.
Okay.
Hello, Trevor. Straight Talk Society. Look at my children in the background. Let me fix this.
Oh yeah, please don't show them.
Hello, Talk Society. Thank you for having me today. I'm at the edge of my seat because I'm ready.
Yeah, trust me. I know. We heard you on Pour Your Heart Out, and we know you could go. So this is gonna be a spirited one. And let me bring on my next guest. He's just waiting in the back. I should make him wait a little longer, but I'm not gonna do that to him. The man, the myth, the legend, Michael. What's up?
You muted.
Unmute yourself.
Did you see how he did that slow roll up and look?
I would like to say that I'm lovelier than Mia. I don't know what you got going on. I feel fine today. I got my Wakanda hat on. I got my Wakanda shirt. Somebody bought me.
I got one too. Why you didn't give me the memo?
I didn't buy it. Somebody bought it for me. She thought I was cute.
Somebody bought mine too, but we could have still wore it together.
Hey, it ain't our fault we sexy out here. You know what I'm saying?
So what I will say right off the bat is this is the best your mic ever sounded, Michael.
Wait a minute. Oh, there it is.
I see you got your setup. You're in front of your computer. I see you.
Sir, that's just one. There's the 60-inch.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's big boy stuff over here. Don't play yourself.
Okay, here you go. Yeah, I don't want. Damn, now I got to show mine off. You see,
Show it up, bro.
looking the other way. Let me see. Yeah, there's my other one. And then I got the one that I'm on right now, but
it's a cute little monitor.
Yeah, it's a cute little monitor. Whatever.
It's my other one.
So right now, peace to everybody in the chat. And like I say, you guys want to come on. Actually, let me drop the link. Let me drop the link in the chat right now so I don't forget. Eventually, I'll learn how you pin it to the top.
Man, I still can't figure out how to put my picture over my initials, so don't feel bad.
So the link is pinned to the link is in the chat. So anybody wants to come on, you're more than welcome. All right. So I was told that everybody loves Pour Your Heart Out because of how structured it is and everything like that. And major props to those women. I want to be as one of the women on the panel right now. I want to tell you guys did a phenomenal job. And if
I'm taking a bow for all of the women.
and if that show needs to the word needs to be spread on that show, because you guys are touching on all type of topics that need to be talked about. I mean, because all the filth that I see going on YouTube is very refreshing to have women that aren't busting it wide open and just doing stupidness for clicks and views, but women that actually are having intelligent conversations. So I give you guys major props for that. That
I would
was
like to say that
was
I was
great.
the first person to give them props. You heard me give them props and then try to jump on my prop bandwagon. We don't need you over here, bro. We good. My wagon moves fine. I got horses and everything. We good.
You know what I want you to do? I want you to look straight up at that overlay and see what it says. It says Straight Talk Society. That's what it says.
Ain't that my middle name? My middle name is Society. That ain't me.
All right, so let's get in this show because we try to keep them at that sweet spot of 90 minutes. And Dr. Mia has something to do tonight. So all right, name of the show is called She Can't Wear That. So who wants to go first before let's give a quick genesis on what happened here, because Michael and myself both have young daughters and we are totally against having little girls dress what we deem as inappropriate. And we vocalize that to you, Mia, and you went all Dr. Mia on us. So what's going on?
Well, I think we should set the record straight. There was more context to that conversation. And
let's get into it. Hold on one second. I think Queen B, if you're who I think you are, if you're more than welcome to come on. I'm almost certain it's Bridget. If you want to come on, be my guest.
And Bridget, you owe me $5 too.
All right, go ahead, Dr. Mia.
I think there was a lot more context to it, and I think the part that made my the response, the pounce response was, you basically saying that before your daughter leaves the house, she has to get approval, the check off, the daddy stamp from you. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait one motherfucking minute.
You from the South. Good Lord. You done got T-double-D in this thing.
So let me ask you, what's wrong with that?
Okay, so it goes back to what I always say. The importance is in the narrative. We can get the same outcome just using a different delivery method that doesn't necessarily end in a long-term impact, negative impact to your daughter or any young girl that absolutely has been conditioned. And I'm going to use condition because there is classic conditioning and operant conditioning, because the mind does that has been conditioned to seek validation or approval from somebody other than herself. So she's not policing herself. She's not policing her authority. She's not policing who she is, because remember, you have to prepare her for a time when you are not there. Children, our job as parents is to prepare them for a time when we are not there, said by the late, great Black Daddy. I am preparing you for a time when I am not here. And then there's been some other people that said it. But I think the idea is that we always want to police our children, not realizing we're not going to be with them all the time. So how do we instill those principles and values that even in our absence, we know that they're going to make the right choice? I don't agree with little girls walking out with booty shorts and being all exposed. I don't agree with that, but I need her to be able to make that decision outside of you. Or like you said, once her husband get in the picture, then you'll pass the baton to him. And then now she has to get approval from her husband.
Hold on. Because Michael, I know you're ready to dive in, but
ladies first.
If I put part of that blame on the parents, though, because it's not like the kids are going out buying that attire. So hell, not part of the blame. I put 90% of the blame on the parents, because they're the ones going out buying the attire. So yeah, you guys got to own that. You got to take ownership to that. Now, me as a dad, what is wrong with me looking at my daughter and like, well, wait a minute. I know what's on the outside there. No, she can't wear that. Like, I know the creeps out there. We have so many undercover pedophiles out here. We have so many men, even in families, that prey on little girls. Shouldn't that be applauded that as a father, you're like, well, hold on, man. Nah, she ain't going out like that. My daughter is not gonna go outside dressed in no booty shorts or tight fitting clothes and things like that. Maybe I'm wrong though, but just y'all let me know.
Go ahead, Michael, because I know you waiting. Because
I have tact, madam. I can wait. Madam Bridget, would you like to speak?
Unmute your mic.
I'm on microphone. Hello, everyone.
How you doing?
For allowing me to join as well.
Well.
So far, I'm in agreement with you guys. So I'm just going to pause and let you guys continue speaking.
They normally agree with us, Michael. They just don't be wanting to say it.
I promise you, they want to be on. It's just for some reason, every woman I know in my life got this team woman hashtag in their brain. Where as soon as they hear it, well, she a girl, I'm on her side for no reason. I'm like, no, she wrong.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far, but what I'm in agreement with is that the children are not buying their own clothes.
Facts.
So if they are wearing something that is deemed inappropriate by either parent, be it the mother or the father, it is more on the parent than it is on the child. And it is absolutely his responsibility to say, you can't wear that. Now, it also depends on what it is. It also depends on if it's a floor length skirt and you're like, yes, that's appropriate. That's not fair. You know,
I have no idea what that is.
I would say I'm wearing one, but
what is a floor length skirt?
A skirt that reaches the floor.
You know what I mean? I thought those were dresses. They ain't got dresses that skirts.
No,
I don't know women clothing, man. I'm sorry.
Lane. Right. That's not your lane, so that's fine.
Thank you. I just found out what the A-line was last week. So
I'm in agreement with you guys so far. So I'd like to continue to listen.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute, because you mentioned the floor length skirts and everything, and then you kind of looked at it and was like, So again, I'm very old fashioned. I cop to that. What is wrong with our women covering themselves up? I mean, because here's my whole thing. And I know we're talking about young girls, but it starts from the top. You can't show the goods off. God, I hope y'all know already when I say certain things. Don't get triggered.
Lean back.
Yeah, don't get triggered by it. But you can't wear certain things. You can't
I want some milk now.
You can't advertise all the goods, and then when people want to consume the goods, you get upset. You're the one. Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
So I want to back up, and I'm telling y'all this. Let's go back. Let's go to the blue jean rate, because if your argument was 1,000% valid, the young lady in Italy that got raped with jeans on, she got raped with jeans on, and then the court found them not guilty because they was like, there's no way that she got raped with jeans on, because with jeans on, it had to be consensual, because what it takes to take off a pair of jeans, then it had to be consensual. So if the argument is that I need to physically prepare her for the perpetrators that are out there, then we wouldn't have had the storyline or the article or the Supreme Court or whatever it took for them to overturn it backwards to say that she got raped because she had on jeans. So I'm just saying that is not what answers the question. That is not what solves the problem. If you're just saying that this is a one-all catch-all, that they just have to dress a certain way and therefore they won't be raped, harassed, whistled at, that is not accurate, sir. When are we going to start having a conversation for us to teach boys not to rape?
Oh, no, we can.
We're going to go there, because the accountability of who does what, because I always said, if people were ready to be accountable, my office, there would be 1,000 people waiting. But you know why people don't go to therapy? They don't want no accountability. They don't want to say that my shit stinks. I have a problem.
I agree. But so, I would like to state something real quick. I don't know
why I keep rolling my head. Let me sit still.
Hey, you looking like a Perk Plus commercial. That hair moving, girl. You better do your all right. So I love y'all. You know how I feel. If I were where we live, where we grew up, and I saw your kids out, I would protect them. That's who I am, and I would expect the same from both of you. But as far as right now, I can only focus on protecting mine. Right now, my daughter has to be safe. My daughter has to make it. Okay? So I can't think about what the court did. I can't think about what's going on over there. I can only think about what I can do with this little girl to keep her as safe as I can do it, as safe as I can do when I'm not around. And I know for a fact, because I've hung around with those creepy dudes. I've been around them. We were in high school watching them dudes come back from college, try to pull up on a freshman in high school. I know what those dudes look for. And those dudes do not look at the nerdy girl and go, oh man, look at the way her abacus moves. Or look at the way, you know what I'm saying? Yo, the way she says the Pythagorean theorem, yo, I just feel it when that square is said. They look at Shorty in the hoochie shorts. There's no songs about, look at that girl with the fly equation. No, there's none of those songs. There's songs about humpback, hoochie mama. That's what the song's about. So it's my job as a man and a daddy to make sure my baby ain't one of them. Now, I understand that women have gotten their, it's not even freedom because you weren't enslaved, but women have gotten their ability to express themselves as much as they want. And I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? To me, the way I look at it, I think it helps me see a thought faster, which is great for me. It is wonderful because if I can see a thought cross the street, I know for a fact what that is. I know, do not waste your resources. Do not waste your time. That is not something you build with. That's something to look. Hold on. Who? You remember this? Damn, boy, you see that? Ooh, that's fly. Let's keep going this way because that's all they're good for. Okay? If that's what I see, my eyes look, and then I move on looking for something of substance. That's how I move. And if that's how I move, that's how I want the person that has my daughter to move. Okay? I want them to see my daughter and be like, man, that's a girl of substance. She's not out here trying to show her beauty with her lack of clothing, which is what it is. People can say
are
what
we
they
only
want.
talking about small shorts and skirts, or are we talking about form-fitting things on people who can't hide it? Because sometimes it doesn't matter what you wear. If you're curvy, if you have large breasts or large hips or something, it does not matter what you wear. Sometimes it is going to show.
I thoroughly agree. Every time I see one of those pictures of the teacher and they try to get the teacher fired, I'm like, why? She's wearing clothes. That's totally different. If you're voluptuous, there's nothing you can do. But if the end of your shorts stop 3 inches away from your vulva, that says something to me. I'm sorry to tell you. If you sneeze and I can see the bottom of your booty cheek jiggle, that says something to me. That said something to me when I was young. When I was young, you know what that told me? Boy, that's not going to take too much energy. That's what it tells men. It says that's not going to take too much trying right there. That's easy. You know, the first time I heard a dude go, yeah, I mess with that, but boy, you can go ahead and try. Ain't no thing. It was a chick that looked just like that. I know to you, you're like, ugh, yes, that's how men talk. And, let's keep it a buck. That's how women talk. What you said? What you said?
We do it too.
I know, exactly. I was about, trust me, because I don't like dudes that much. So most of my friends are female, and I heard how y'all talk about us. It's vicious. It's vicious.
Woo. So Bridget, let me say, because we were, I mean, and we can go to adults, but we were initially, when this conversation started, it was more so with the kids, because Michael and myself have young daughters. But I totally agree with you. Like, there are some women that just are curvy, and it's like there's nothing, unless you want them to wear a potato sack, it's fine. But there's something. Oh, hey, Juju, you addressed the host first instead of Nene. Oh, thank you for that. But hey, all y'all that's watching, y'all gonna see I do this a lot. All y'all those that's watching, please hit that like and share button and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys for coming over here. There's no other show going on YouTube right now that's going to be better than this one. I can tell you that. So just tune into this right now.
You don't got love for your boy.
But what I was saying, We know that you guys are curvy. Like, it's a whole different breed. We get it. But there's a difference in being like sexy Okay, there's this college basketball coach I just saw today.
Yes.
What's her name? You know her. You know Michael. You know who I'm talking about.
She got them outfits,
but she can't hide it. She can't hide the way she is, but she doesn't go out and flaunt it like wearing the booty shorts and things like that. So she's being classy with it. All I'm saying is, what have we gotten into now that our women feel the need to have to advertise so much? There is something to be said about being modest. Like, you ever notice when you go to the strip club, Michael, you could attest to this. If we see the strippers they could be in the skimpiest of uniform, I guess I'll say. But
Sydney Carter. Sydney Carter is her name.
Sydney Carter. Oh yeah, y'all look up Sydney Carter and you'll see what I'm talking about. But the stripper could be wearing the skimpiest of outfit, but the minute they take it off, you're like, huh?
Like Shaquesta.
You're like, huh? Well, hold on, Shaquesta, you could. Shaquesta, you can come on up here. You know that.
Regardless of what you wearing.
Yeah, but see,
moving the goalpost.
Yeah, y'all keep moving the goalposts. I asked you where you're going. You're telling me where you've been. Like, I'm not
moving the goalposts. Your whole argument is centered around the fact that if she looks a certain way, she's going to attract a certain perpetrator and therefore will be victimized based on how she looks. And I'm saying it doesn't matter how she looks. You can have her in her full turn and she can be honest and go out into society until we have the conversation about teaching boys not to rape, teaching them not to whistleblow, teaching them not to gawk, change the culture. Because we didn't used to be that way. You know, if you wanted to talk to somebody, you set the tone. When we talk about men being men, set the bar. If you want to go talk to the girl, run across the street, introduce yourself, say hello. Now, is she going to be receptive? Is she going to be able to say, hey, my name is such and so? Oh, because we've gotten so used to being this type of society where catcalling is the response. I'm saying change the culture. Don't put the onus of making sure that I don't get raped is just primarily focused on whether I dress the part or not.
Madam, I am not putting whether my child gets raped or not on her, but we do believe. No, it's not. We believe in percentages and averages, do we not? We've all graduated from school, percentage and averages. If a person is looking for something, they're going to look for the package it comes in. If I'm looking for Pepto-Bismol, I'm not going to pick up a clear bottle of liquid and go, this might be it. I'm going to be looking for some pink shit. That's what it is. And if I have my child dressed up in a package for what is known as an easy lay, that's what I'm signing my child up for. I'm making the percentage higher. I'm trying to lower my shit.
So if we're talking about in general just respectability and presentation, I agree.
I know you do. You got sense.
We have to tell our ladies, our young ladies, our daughters. I have a 12-year-old. We have to tell them what is appropriate and what is not. We have to try and dress them for their body type, for appropriateness, and for what is not. However, that in no way bears on a rapist.
I disagree. I think it lowers the percentage. I really do. All right, check it out. If I wake up, I get dressed and I go outside and I'm wearing a raggedy shirt with holes in it and I'm dusty and I don't smell good on Monday. And on Wednesday, I go out and I got on a 3-piece suit. I got on some nice chains under it. I'm wearing some red bottom joints. You know what I'm saying? I got the little thing sticking out with my initials on Wednesday. Okay. On Wednesday, my potential and the percentage that I'm gonna get a gold digger is higher than a mug. On Monday, it's low. Because the people that are looking, when you looking for something, you look for what is packaged in. Ain't no gold digger gonna look at me with a holy shirt and go, ooh, I bet he got some money. No,
actually we kind of do because nerds dress like that, and nerds are the ones with the money. So
I didn't say they were smart. I didn't say they were smart. I said what you gonna do. There's a whole lot of stupid people in the world. Please believe.
Really? Yep.
Please
I
believe.
believe you. I agree with you. I mean,
Just like they used to say all the time, they used to go, I got to get a white girl because a white girl is freaky. And I told everybody in school, everything freaky I did was with a black girl. I don't know what y'all talking about. They do it for me. People don't think.
So real quick, let me interject right here because you guys know I'm in the Solar Vision Debate League and I have 2 more debates coming up. So I was called the other night and presented with a debate idea, and I accepted it. It's very funny because it kind of ties into what we're talking about here. So the name of the debate is going to be what the hell happened? Did I miss it? Are fathers' unrealistic expectations detrimental for their daughter's future mate? That's the debate topic that one of the female debaters in the league presented to me, and absolutely I took it.
Run that back again. Read it again.
Because I know you can. I know our father's unrealistic expectations detrimental for their daughter's future mate.
First of all, that's a loaded ass question.
It's very, very loaded because we got to define what unrealistic is, which is fine. And then I have a debate next Saturday against a brother named Madon Komet, and it's our black man in a position to check the black woman. So y'all make sure and tune into that next Saturday at 8 p.m. on Solar Vision Debate League. But like what I wanted to say, so I hear you guys talking and everything. So let's go to the root of the problem, because Dr. Mia said it a couple of times. She was like, well, let's not put all the onus on the women and what they're wearing, but let's talk about the boys that actually commit the acts. Okay, let's do that. Let's look at how they're being raised. More importantly, who's raising them?
He gonna go to the single mother. I know where
you're going. Let's go, because we always talk about, oh, boys aren't raised right. Boys aren't raised right. Well, of course they're not going to be raised right when their dad isn't in the house. When you put all the onus on a single woman to try to raise a boy, there's going to be some things missing there. And I'm not talking about all. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Not all. Right now, I'm just talking in generalizations right now. But we can't keep turning a blind eye all the time to our problems. It's systematic. You take that black father out of the house, and you look what happens to the boys. You can't deny it. And Bridget, just so you know, over here, I only really care about black people, so that's really what I talk about.
No, he only cares about black people.
That's kind of what this show is a black center show. But we never want to have that conversation about the father not being present in the home. And a lot of times the father's not present because of his own doing. So I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm not going to say like, oh, let's absolve the dad. But I'm saying, I'd probably say more 70-30.
I think society makes it look like it's 70-30, but I don't think it is. I think toxic women are highly spread out through the world, and they pushing men away at an alarming rate.
Boy, Dr. Mia eyes about to jump out of her head. Go ahead and get it. Hey, she rolling her eye. Go ahead and say what you got to say. What you got to say?
It goes back to I am the accountability doctor, right?
Which is why I love it.
I'm the accountability doctor. I think there are multiple variables at play. Like, there are just too many moving pieces to do what Mr. Straight Talk always do, which we argue all the time about these broad generalizations that he drops on my lap. And I'm like, no, you have to unpack it. There are some systemic things that have caused our men to flee our households, and systemic things that are still in play. But you are right. It is the responsibility of our community to get back to family. That's why I'm a huge advocate. And that's why I went into my field, because I was like, if we could just save our families, then we can save our children, then we can save our communities. We have abandoned our families because that is what made the Black community thrive in the back. It was the sense of community. So now this Western ideology of how we live our lives have caused us to split, and everybody's for themselves, and I'm out for me, and we gonna do this, and I'm gonna take care of me. No, because I think that's the part of my Haitian culture that still resonates, is part of me, is that everything is community. I'm good, my sister good, my brother good, because I have a brother that's mentally ill right now that I take care of. He's never gonna be out in them streets. I don't care how he is. He don't want to do right, but he is going to be taken care of. So if we just start with our four walls, I'm not even telling you take care of your sister and your brother and your auntie, sister, kids. Start with your four walls. People not taking care of their children.
It suspiciously sounds like you're saying I should focus on what's in my house first, right? Like my daughter, and keeping her out of thought pocket clothing.
Juju, if you want to come on, you can come on. The link is in the chat.
We want the same end, but like I said, it's the principle. You teach them the principles and the values so that her decision make is not solely based on the approval of her daddy telling her that yes, this is okay, or no, this is okay. So then what happens in your absence? She can't make that decision for herself. You are right. You teach her the difference between, you don't need to show your body to validate who you are as a woman, right, as a young girl. You are beautiful. You validate her at home at every juncture. So she's not going out in the street and on the table and on the stage trying to get validated by all the people throwing her dollars, because she's never heard daddy's, you're beautiful. I love your hair. Look how your shoulders stand. You're athletic. Like most men don't even know how to compliment their own daughters.
Hold on, Bridget. Before you say something. Hold on, Michael. Before you say something, I've known this girl since the 7th grade, so this is just what it is. But I love how you said your daddy's approval. Why the emphasis on the daddy's approval? Like that doesn't matter.
It could be the same thing as a mom, but we're talking about daddies.
The problem is, if the dad isn't in the home, then it's you guys that should be responsible for setting the example. So you got to come back and take some type of blame. Like, maybe if I spend less time doing the hot girl summer thing, I could focus more on my kids. We don't ever want to do that part though.
Really? Why we gotta spend less time on the hot girl summer? Y'all don't spend less time on the basketball court, because men never abandon their friend groups. They never abandon.
I ain't played basketball in forever.
They join whatever your community is. Men don't abandon it. That's what I'm saying. It's the blame game. That's what I want us to move away from. The blame game. It's not your fault. It's not her fault. Let's just fix this. Let's fix it.
I'm sorry.
I have so many questions.
It has to be women.
Yeah, go ahead, Bridget. Hold on, Michael. Let Bridget. Because
I think there has to be a way for us to teach our daughters, because it is important that they know your value is inside. But there has to be a way to teach that without downing women who choose to dress however it is that they choose to dress. What is a thought pocket? What is a thought pocket uniform? What is that?
You know exactly what a thought pocket uniform is.
No, I don't. No, I do not.
Yes, you do.
I know plenty of whores who dress like preachers' wives. So that means absolutely nothing.
They're out of uniform.
The preacher wives are the whores.
Yes, they are.
I don't understand. There's so much more that we have to teach our daughters other than what they're wearing. Now, again, I agree. Certain little tiny things that do not fit, that are not age appropriate, and that clearly do not fit their body type. Yes, we have to tell them that they have to be appropriate, but we also can't just say you are automatically this because you wear this. I am not a nurse because I wear scrubs. That does not make me a nurse. It does not make me a whore because I wear shorts.
In the words of one of the greatest American philosophers, you might not be a whore, but you're damn sure wearing the whore's uniform. Okay? You can say that was Dave Chappelle. You can say what you want. You can, everybody on this panel knows what thought pockets look like. I don't get, now folks, I don't.
I
You
don't.
do.
I don't
You
know what a
do.
thought pocket
You
is. I'm
do.
so serious.
Oh, y'all know
I
what
don't
that.
give a-
Y'all know what
I-
thought pockets
they know,
are.
They know.
I
I
don't.
ain't playing with them. You now
I'm
don't get me
43
wrong.
years old. I
I'm
do not know
saying.
what a hot pocket is.
I let you talk. Can I speak? Can I
I
speak?
apologize.
I'll let y'all go. I was quiet.
I
Can
said
Go
I
ahead,
apologize.
tell us what
Go
thought
ahead.
pocket is first too, so we can
A
follow
thought
you?
I'll say thought pockets. You know what a thought is, right?
Those holes over there. I just learned that
Thank
this
you very
year.
much. I know you did. I know I was there. I was there. I was proud of you. I was proud. A thought pocket is someone that is an active thought because their pocket is always getting use. So it's always, it's warm and in good use because other people have told you how well it works.
Ooh. And
An
we believe
active
it
hope.
because they said it.
Stay on point. But anyway, so I'm saying, you know what a thought pocket looks like, okay? You know what it looks like when a woman or a girl or any female is dressed inappropriately for wherever the hell they're supposed to be. I'm not asking. You guys keep asking. Well, what if she? I don't give a damn about what if. If she's a whore and she's wearing a floor length dress, then obviously she's a whore in a floor length dress. But she doesn't look like a thought pocket. I'm happy for her. I don't care about that. My problem is I don't want y'all walking around looking like thought pockets.
But this is the thing.
Thought pockets get treated like thought pockets.
Based on your argument, you said you'll walk past the woman in the small shorts because you know what she's about.
No. I said I'll stop and look.
Okay, but you'll bypass her as far as anything more. But you'll pay more attention to someone who is what you deem as appropriately dressed. And it's not that I have an issue with your statement because you have to do what it is that you want to do. The issue is that we take issue with what other people are choosing to do because we don't like it. That's the thing I have a problem with. Now, if we're going to focus on children, if we're going to focus on our kids, then yes, let's talk about that. But don't tell me at 43 years old that you think I'm a whore because my shorts are small. Come on now.
I never said that. Did I say you're a whore?
You implied.
I'm not a whore. I'm sorry. I'm a thought
implications are subjective.
I apologize. I'm a thought pocket if I wear what you consider to be the whore's uniform per day.
There you go. Whore's uniform. That's what I said. If you're wearing a whore's uniform, I'm not going to holler. That's what I'm saying. It increases the probability and it increases the percentage that you're a whore. So why would I waste my time? Just like if a dude walks out, all right, if a guy's walking down the street and he's saying, I can't stand these niggas, and he's a white guy, chances are he's racist. He might work at the NAACP and he got Tourette's and one of his tics is to say nigga. But guess what? I'm never going to find out because the chances are he's racist.
That's not
good
really
enough for
the
me.
same because
I don't need
that would be you taking what's actually coming out of his mouth versus you being a surface viewer level. You can't just look at someone and judge. You're listening.
He's wearing a shirt that says I can't. He's wearing a shirt that says my niggas, and he's a white man. Hold on. The great Patrice O'Neal said, "It doesn't matter if I'm walking down the street and I see a bunch of white guys walking to me with bald heads. I'm not gonna go. Maybe they're coming from chemotherapy class. Fuck no. I'm gonna get my gun."
All of your justifications come from comedians.
And this is what women do. I'm just asking. They hear what we're talking about, and then they try to diss you.
No, because exactly your reference points are all these
exactly what I'm saying. I made hella points.
Shock value.
I made hella points before I brought up one comedian. I had 2 segments go before I brought up a comedian at all. But all all my points come from comedians.
Hold up. Please. Hold up, just because I don't want this to go that way. Over here. No. She's new to the panel. I want to make sure that she's a repeat panelist. So stop you can't. No, Michael, I'm gonna mute you, man. Hold on. Be quiet, man. Hey, listen. You can't. I don't want anybody to feel like anything's being directed to them. But it's real funny because it's 2 things I wanna get to. A comment that Juju made and something. Okay, so I just saw Bridget last week. I want to say this is my first time ever seeing her. I saw her in person last week. Bridget is taller than me. I'm
She like
6 foot.
5'10", right?
I'm 6 foot. Bridget looks like she's taller than me. My other friend that's in the chat, Shaquesta, is also taller than me. So if they wear shorts, they aren't making shorts for women like that. So a regular pair of shorts that would probably be longer on another woman would ride up a little higher on them. Hold on. So my point is, I'm not vilifying grown women for how they dress because there are certain circumstances. All I'm saying is you can't advertise. Don't advertise the goods and then not be happy. Like you can't turn around and be like, oh, the unwanted attention that I'm getting. Oh, you can't give me that attention. But that's what I had to say about that. But also Juju made a good point. Hold on, Michael. No, you won't. Juju's making a good point. Oh God, where was it? Okay, I like to dress sexy. They call it what they want. So I made the comment a few weeks ago. We went to one of my friend's birthday brunches, and my wife wore something that I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world. I encourage my wife to dress sexy. Again, sexy is not the issue here. My wife would never go out wearing shorts that you could see the bottom of her ass cheeks. My wife has a tremendous shape. So anything she's going to put on is going to show her form, but she doesn't do it in a way to be like, oh, let me advertise this. Well, what I'm talking about is those women that go out. And again, I know we got on women. I was more so talking about the younger girls, but those women that go out and just merchandise themselves, but then turn around and say, oh, you shouldn't gawk at me. You shouldn't whistle at me. And then wear a potato sack then.
Yo, I find it hilarious how you told me be easy and then said the exact same shit I said, just with nicer words. Yo,
no, I said I don't direct it at anybody. That's all I say. So you can say whatever you want.
She wasn't directed at me. She didn't say, oh, apparently you get all your stuff from comedians. That one directed at me.
When did somebody else like that? Why are your feelings hurt?
Michael. Michael, this is not you, Michael. This is not you. I don't know you to be like this.
Now I'm gonna cry.
It was just a question that was all of your references based on comedians, because comedians specifically say things for shock value. So
I gotta call Amazon to get new feelings.
And this is a temper tantrum.
Should I sit on the ground? Should I sit on the floor?
We need your help.
You can only do a good temper tantrum on the floor. Should I sit on the
floor? Hold on. Michael, you got 1 minute. Go ahead and get out what you got to get out.
I find it hilarious whenever someone says something that other people don't agree with, they automatically go to, you're hurt. You're either hurt or you're damaged. No, I just don't agree with you. Don't get me wrong. I never said women can't wear what they want to wear. I never said that. I never implied that. Wear what the hell you want. Just don't give me attitude when I look at you and go, oh, there goes a thought pocket right there, and keep it going. You don't have to care what I think. That's cool. But when the majority of society looks at you and sees you a thought pocket, don't cry about it. Just be the thought pocket. I don't walk around and go, well, why don't they can't not like big dudes because I'm a big dude. I shut the hell up and wait till a girl like a big dude. Simple and plain. I'm done. Hold on. I'm still crying.
Hey, Juju, you gotta pick a side now. Come on now. You gotta pick a side. You can't be doing all this flip-flopping.
Women never
I'm just messing with you. Shout out to Commissioner Angel. I mentioned Solar Vision Debate League earlier. You know, like I said, I got a debate April 15th against Madon Komet, and then I got one 2 weeks later, which is going to be crazy. So y'all check that out. We're trying to rush to the playoffs. But all right, Bridget, go ahead and say what you were saying, because Dr. Mia, she's over there just dying. I just think she want to just attack me.
And I think we need her. But I just think we do a lot of thinking for each other, and that's okay because we're having a conversation, and that's just kind of what it is. So, Mike, for you to say a woman is complaining that someone isn't hollering at them because they're whatever, maybe that has been your experience. But I can tell you for myself, like Trevor said, I'm tall, I'm 6'2". I'm going to get stared at regardless. I had to get used to it. I do not like it. It's something that I had to get used to. However, and you guys, you men are going to be shocked, but I also take issue with seeing women in shorts that are hiked up into their cooters. I personally don't like it as a woman. However, that does not mean she's a thought pocket. That does not mean she's trying to get a certain amount of attention from certain people. That means that is just what she has chosen to wear. Would she care if you don't try and talk to her? I doubt it. Does that mean she doesn't like you or you're a bad person or whatever? No, it's just not like that. I just think people talk to who they want to talk to. People now, let me tell you how it's coming off to me, and it could just be me. You have approached some women in the whore uniform and got rejected, so it became the whore uniform. That's just
no, ma'am.
To me, that's how it's coming off to me, and I could be.
I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay.
Go ahead. Oh gosh. Oh Lord. Oh God. Hold on.
I have nothing.
No. I see who's in the back. Oh goodness.
Oh, tell them how.
All right. Now I'm about to add him. To the Ricardo. Hit the link if you want, man. You doing all that chatting? We need to hear you. Hit the link. All right. I'm about to bring on Commissioner Solomon. Want to commission? Okay. Commissioner of SVDL. What's going on, Commissioner?
Women that wear those types of clothing.
Hey, what's going on?
I've been the guy that liked them. I've been the guy that have been befriended them and tried to talk them out of it, but I've never been the guy. That's not my thing. The woman who raised me is one of the few logical women I've known in my life, and that has hurt me more because the more I've gotten into life, I've seen less logical women that I've come across and more women that are led by their emotions. And no, I'm not being funny. I'm being dead serious. She asked me a serious question. I'm trying to respond with no theatrics, no tears or whatever. I'm talking directly to you. The women I've come across have been emotional wrecks who have abandonment issues and daddy issues that I've come across and seen them. I'm not attracted to that. I'm attracted to women who can be stoic. And even in the face of aggression and anger, they're just like, this is not something I do. I'm taking myself away from that. That's the type of woman I move with. I don't move with girls who snap, I found something that could barely cover my areolas. So I don't know where you're getting
can I say something though?
He must have been hurt by a thought pocket, but no, I see them and I feel for them because I know for a fact in my heart, and I speak to a lot of them because I'm friends with a lot of them. I know in my heart, they don't want to do that. I'm not talking about wearing form-fitting clothes. I'm not talking about wearing pony printas and bati riders. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about women who dress, and you can say it's not for male attention, but it is. Just like the women say, my BBL is for me, you're lying. It's for male attention because they have, whether it's daddy issues, low self-esteem, whatever. That's what breaks my heart. I love women. There's every woman who has ever had a serious, concerted conversation with me will tell you I love black women more than anything on this planet. But watching them denigrating down, it hurts my heart, and I have to say something. If that makes me a simp for who's hurt or crying, I'll take it. It don't bother me. But I'm not. I want my community to stand up and be the shit like it used to be before supremacy destroyed it.
I don't want to lose your point. I don't want you to shut up, but I don't want to lose your point before we move on. You stated that there are some women that you know that are emotionally driven and have all these emotional issues. You did not learn those things by looking at them. That is the only point that we're trying to make.
I learned
those things that you learned about those women came after you had interactions and conversations with them. You did not learn those things because they had on small shorts.
You're right. But what I did learn is that the majority of women who wear those types of clothing have those types of problems. I've learned that women who dress and tend to think that is okay tend to lean toward that group, because I've said this to Mia. A lot of people like to believe that they're snowflakes and I'm different and I'm so unique. There's probably 6 to 8 different versions of humans on the planet. We all fit into one about 60%, and then nature and nurture kind of moves us around a little bit, but we're not all that different. That's why you meet somebody like, damn, you remind me of my friend so-and-so. We're not all that different. And I'm telling you, the majority of women that wake up in the morning and have put on something that's 2 inches from their vulva and think this is good to go outside and walk to the store and walk around Walmart. Anyone that usually when you think like that, and that's okay, you have the mindset that you're messed up, and your child is going to get it from you, because most of them are in single. They're single mothers, or come from a family without the father, or are raising a daughter who's going to think like them, and that breaks my heart. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
One second. Wait, Mia, real quick, because I want to let Solar get in, but I want to say this because I see Juju said in the chat that she loves Breezy. So I don't know if you guys are new over here. You guys don't know, but we have another division of the Straight Talk sessions called Pour Your Heart Out, where you'll get to see these women, Dr. Mia, Breezy, Shaquesta, and about 7 other of them. They get into all these type of I was about to say toxic. Get into all these topics outside of without me and Michael to interject. But we'll look on my timeline and you'll see when their next show is coming up. So Dr. Mia, go and then let Solar chime in.
I just, I think Michael and I have these ongoing arguments about his broad generalization and taking 8 billion people on this planet and sectioning them off into certain groups and stating that this is the narrative and that's all I'm going to believe. And I'm the opposite. Like, I do not believe in these broad generalizations. I do not believe that all women that wear shorts have this deep-seated problem and daddy issues. A majority.
I got a question for the
Hold on, Michael.
I'm still talking.
Michael.
I correct myself. A majority of these women that wear these shorts have all of these issues, right? That's just loaded, because like I keep repeating myself to say that it's just about accountability. And I really want us to stick back to the topic of where we were talking about young girls. Now, yes, these young girls may become these women, and a lot of the work that must take place does start and finish with their mothers, because when your mother got it together, you impact 3 generations. So it's very important for the women also to have these conversations with their children. So that speaks to the narrative of the absence of the father. Yes, there is a role that the father plays, but the most significant relationship that is going to help guide her of how she should dress, how she shouldn't dress, does begin with the mother. But I'm going to be honest with you. I have a 17-year-old daughter. I have nieces and everything. And I was raised Haitian. I had turtlenecks, sleeves all the way down. I didn't get to wear Daisy Dukes in the Daisy Dukes era. So guess what I wear now? You depriving a young child of doing that, it doesn't go away. And then you don't even state the guardrails of why it's not done, which is the parenting style of our parents that we are adapting, and we say we miss in the good old days, blah, 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 blah. No, it didn't work, because everything that you are witnessing now is a direct manifestation of what that parenting style that we so celebrate, that was so good in the 20-year marriages and people going, no, this is the aftermath. Not joining in marriage, not having children, choosing to be alone because of the trauma that you talked about. So there are just way too many variables to just say that it's like the pocket thoughts. And no, it's so much more to that. It's so much more to that.
I'm not saying.
Now hold on one. Let's let Solar go. What's up, Solar?
I had a question for the women on the panel.
Can you speak up a little bit? Sorry.
Yeah, you kind of low, Solar.
I sound low?
Mm-hmm. Well, now you good.
You trying to get a sexy voice on?
All right, I cut my mic down because it was kind of ringing in my ear. When it's close to the headphones.
Read me up.
My question to the women on the panel: if you see a man wearing high heels and a halter top, what would you think of him?
That he's a man that has on high heels and a halter top.
No, it's cool. Now,
I mean,
what would you say, Dr. Mia?
I would assume that he was
she answered it. You answered the question. You answered the question. It's cool. Now, what would you say?
I would believe that he's transgender.
You said transgender? Okay. So you didn't talk to him, though.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't talk to him. So you prejudged him based on how he was dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Broad.
How is that broad?
Real long fishing pole, but I'm gonna let you walk me through it. Keep going.
Okay, so that would be the equivalent of what some men think about when women dress in a provocative way.
Why no? He's right.
Now see, look, but now see, right?
Yes, he is.
Now see, right?
Oh no, hold on, let him go. He's right though.
So see, right, see, right,
does that make me a guy?
All right, so see what Queen did, right? She knew what the answer to the question was,
where you were going,
but she did not want to answer it because she knew that it would contradict her very premise on what guys are saying about women.
Facts.
That is so not true.
Now the other woman, the doctor woman, she knew she had to answer the question correctly.
Hold on. We can't hear. Everybody can't talk over
That's not
each
moving the
other.
goalpost at all. That's using the same equivalent.
It is not.
That's using the same equivalent of you saying, based on how the person was dressed, you had a preconceived notion of that person.
I absolutely agree with what you use as an example. Like that is a very good example. But as we talk about moving that goalpost, that was definitely a move goalpost, because I would argument that in the past, when women used to wear jeans, according to the Bible, that we weren't supposed to wear jeans because now we're taking on the persona of a man. So there are cultural narratives that must be taken into consideration within the context of the question that you asked. So if we're just talking about a little girl, we're talking about a little girl. That's why I said I want us to stick to the topic, because when we get into adults, now again, we're moving the goalposts. Let's stick to the topic of where we talked about that. We are talking about the impact of fathers policing their daughters' clothes and therefore not giving them an opportunity to police themselves, so that in the absence of their fathers, they can make the decision and know that they are validated regardless of what they wear. But Trevor's and Michael's argument, because they're on the side of me, are saying that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the validation. She just can't wear that, point blank, period. And I'm saying, no, there has to be a broader conversation around why she can't wear that. Teach her, create the guardrails.
So would you feel better? Would you feel better if I told her I don't want you to get pregnant early? Would that be better?
Because you don't want to get pregnant. That's what.
Like
I think it's the father's responsibility to instill discipline and protection over their children.
Absolutely.
Specifically with the female, it's his duty. Whatever the father's rules is on how she's supposed to present himself, that's a very big thing when it comes to women. It's how they present themselves and how they're viewed in society. The father's role is to be that protection and that advisor, because that's the first male that she has an intimate relationship with. So it's his duty to instill those things into his daughter, because when she goes into society, nobody's going to have that much love for her other than her father, more than her father has. So those rules have to be strict. When she becomes a responsible adult and makes decisions on her own, okay, she's an adult, she's old enough to now make decisions. But when you're under a certain man's roof, whatever his rules are, she would have to abide by them. And that's not being oppressive. That's just understanding that he is the one that is the protector. That's a responsibility. See, people negate, this role of protector. Protector meaning that you're the first line of defense.
Hello.
The protection is not just, I'm just protector because I'm the man. No, that means that if something was to go down, that he would have to do something about it. So put in following his rules, that's protecting him. Protecting the protector, follow the rules that he's saying. Okay, when you go out, you do this. Because if you do that, that will open the door for X, Y, and Z to happen. And I now have to go and do this as a result of that. So
big facts.
So this is why. Understand that, and then when we go down to, I just want to dress like this, it's very minute in the grand scheme of why he's telling you to dress that way. It's not because he don't want you to look good. It's not because he don't want you to, so we know that it's a lot of different shit out there. There's a lot of perverts, there's a lot of disgusting people out there. That's just the way the world is. He is just trying to put you in the best position so he won't have to kill nobody and go to jail.
Because I damn sure will.
Can you do that for the black man?
I think we're all kind of saying the same thing to a certain degree, though, because I will say I do agree that as the head of the household, the father should set the rules and the blueprint for what is appropriate and what is inappropriate, along with the mother, of course. But the reasons have to align as well. However, I will say what Dr. Mia said is true. We do have to allow our daughters to follow the rules and police herself. So if you put these rules in place, you have to allow your daughter to say, okay, I know what the rules are. I know what I was raised to do, and allow her to do that. But it also goes back to your original point, Trevor. The parents purchase the clothing. So until that child is purchasing their own clothing, if there's a problem, you kind of got to point back at yourself.
See, this is what's so confusing. Like, no man here ever said a thing about not letting the child try to make those decisions. No man here has ever said that.
Trevor said that when his daughter walked out the door, the last conversation, Trevor said that before his daughter walked out the door, he has to get approval from her father, and then he's going to pass that baton to her husband.
Every time I speak, everybody want to jump. What did I do? I was quiet. I even made little signs.
Oh, God.
Why did I get all this disrespect?
Okay. Namaste, brother. Namaste.
And Shaka, you're going to go after Michael. You're going to go after Michael.
All right. So, like I said, these are children. Okay? They're children. There's a reason they can't vote. There's a reason that when they're little, they can't drive. There's a reason that they can't be held responsible for many things because they're children. And they're not held responsible for what they wear. You're right. I am. So you ain't putting that on. And I'm not going to go back and forth with a 12-year-old about why coochie cutters are wrong. Because let's be clear, when they're that age, when they're at 12, 15 to 17, we might be, the influence that we used to have over them is lessened. The influence that their friends have is heightened. So when they homegirls say, girl, I can't believe you wearing these long ass shorts. It touched the middle of your thigh. That means more to her and her young ass brain than daddy saying, nah, I'm not feeling that. That's why women used to sneak out and put clothes in the mailbox and then try to put it on to be thotty at school. No, it's my job to stop. I ain't going to say nobody's names. But that's why it's my job to try to stop it. I got to stop it at 9. At 7, 8, 9 before she reaches 15 to where she thinks ignoring me is an option because you who know me know I'm crazy and I'll show up at your school and you better have the same thing you left the house in. That's how I feel. And I just want to say one last thing. Why is it that every man here said the exact same thing I said, but I'm the only one that's hurt? Why I'm the only one that's crying?
Oh, we're gonna ride.
It's the way you say it.
I want to respond.
It's the way you're saying it, bro. That's
how am I saying it? Please learn me.
Real quick.
Talk about this all the time about your delivery.
Hold on, real quick to Angel and Juju. Yeah, the crux of the conversation when it initially started was about young girls, like school age children. But we'll never keep it. I ain't got no structure, so we know it'll never stay on what it was supposed to be on. But we evolved to grown women. Shaka, what's up?
I think it goes together though. I think it was structured very nicely actually because I think that once you get to a certain age and when you bear children, the mom has a responsibility of being influenced on the daughter as well by how she dresses as well. And I could go back then. This is like a recent phenomenon because I remember back in the 80s, Auntie wasn't really thotting it like that. You know what I'm saying? I never really see, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't really doing that. Like grandma wasn't dressed all crazy like that. I don't care what from what I remember. Me being a kid back in the day, grandma
with white girls
was not wearing no. She was really literally like how the grandmoms on TV was. That's how she would dress.
Now you're a grandma when you're 40, though.
She would not dress in a provocative way. This is like recent. I began to see that in the 90s. I began to see that in the 90s where, you know, the older auntie would begin to dress in this, you know. So this is like a recent phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, yes, the two go together because, you know, she has to be the influence because the man can't be saying one thing. And then she's looking at mom, and mom is doing the exact opposite. Now, it's a difference between Sierra and LeBron James' wife. It's two stark different. Now, LeBron James' wife dressed very sexy, but it's in a classy type of sexy. You know, even when you look at LeBron James' wife, it's almost like she's like on a pedestal. Like, you know, it's like a respect there. Sierra, it's a little different. I'm just saying that.
And this is
Solar, they're gonna jump on you. Don't change the subject.
Moving the goalpost, sir. I need you to stay right here on the field.
But I agree with you, though, Sha. I agree with you, Solar.
I just was using that as an example of tying in both what y'all was talking about from you know, the women being an examples to the daughters on how they dress, and because it's going to conflict with what the man is telling them, like you have to wear X, Y, Z, and you have to be this, and that, and then you know they're looking at Mom Dukes, and we already know certain conversations that goes on where so like you know some women say, well, don't worry about what he's talking about, you know, and so all that got to end.
Okay, but
okay.
Go ahead, Shaka.
So, hello, everyone. Hello.
What's up?
I did come in a little late, but my take from the conversation is this. Being the mother of a soon-to-be 23-year-old, I will say this. We have had moments where I have had to put my foot down on certain things, but I've also had moments where her dad has had to put down his foot on certain things. With that being said, it's a conversation that starts with mom and dad, regardless of, and we're divorced, but regardless of, that's still our child together. So whether she was spending time at my house versus being over at his house, we still had to be on the same page. Regardless of our marital status, we had to be on the same page. With that being said as well, we also had to talk to our child because you don't know what these kids could be going through. And I get some parents are like, oh, no, you know, you depressed, you better go depress them dishes. No, it's bigger than that. Sometimes they have things happening. So you have to sit down and you have to explain sometimes to children why it's not allowed for you to wear these little shorts. Just like at a certain age, I stopped allowing my daughter to sit on men's laps. But that was just our conversation that we had. But there's a reason for that. And to kind of piggyback off of, I'm sorry, I can't see your name, who said that, oh, grandmas wasn't doing this back in the day.
No,
listen,
Solar.
ain't nothing new up under the sun. Ain't nothing new up under the sun. Grandma may not have had on no Daisy Dukes, but she had on that little nightgown, and you ain't never seen grandma stressing by her bills, never, not one time.
Because she wasn't showing all the goods to everybody else. That's why.
Right.
You don't know that. Let me tell you how. Wait, let me tell you how you don't know that.
Some thotty grandmas.
I'm gonna tell you how you don't know that. You don't know that because when you said you realized it in the 90s, that's when you were a little bit more cognizant of what was happening around you. But you don't know what was happening before the 90s. Okay, because if we can go back to the Freakniks, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff was popping off way back in the 80s.
The Daisy Dukes were introduced in 1979
by white girls. By white girls.
It's not a racial. We all still wore them. All fashion was initially introduced in white America because they were the norm reference back then. Now, because white culture has emerged, that now we have our own culture, and maybe the norm reference are the celebrities or the hip artists. But all culture back then was introduced by white culture. But I wanted to respond to something the commissioner said about when we talked about how we make these rules and our kids say, as long as we live in our house, you follow these rules. And hence the generation of kids that came out buck wild once they went to college. I'm going to what Shaka said. You have the conversation about the guardrails and the things that are necessary to protect your child. I'm not saying that you're not supposed to protect them, but you need to talk to them about what that is, because just making the blanket rules that as long as you live under this house, you can't do X, Y, Z. Because as soon as they leave your house, you are now telling them, cognizant that they have the consciousness go on. Well, I couldn't do it at my parents' house, but now that I'm out here, I can do it. No, you don't want them doing it out there either. So the conversation and the narrative have to be around safety, has to be around respect and value, so that it's not just the blanket, you can't, because that's what our parents did. It was just like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. And then when they got out, they was buck wild. Believe me, fam, Florida State, all of those kids, those 90s was off the chain. We keep talking about this generation. No, we set the bar on thoughtness. We set the bar on hood. We set the bar on a lot of things. They're just following in our footsteps, and everything is magnified because of social media. So now we see everything. But like Shaka said, nothing is new under the sun. This glorification of the past as if it went so well. I would love to sit and debate that challenge, that narrative, because when I keep saying this is the landscape of y'all glorious past, we doing real good, right? As a family, as a culture, as a community, we doing real good, because there was such great values and principles that were passed on. No, it was because it was very clear. You just didn't do it. Didn't explain it, didn't have the conversation. I'm okay with you making sure that your daughter is safe. I'm just saying, do it differently. It don't have to just be like, because daddy said. No, explain to her why. Give her the guardrails. Let her be able to make those decisions in your absence.
And we
Sound
the
like
words
somebody
that you're
hurt you,
using
Mia.
matter.
I think that the reason why things have changed is because the men haven't really changed that much. The men really haven't.
Run that
really
back.
changed.
Run that
Really,
back.
I mean, like far as
Nah.
what
I
we
disagree.
I can't agree with you on that.
far as what we expect in the household and running a household, like far as being a disciplinary, being a person that calls the shots, being a person that wants to protect. Has that changed?
I'm gonna just read.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. So the difference would be like what you was just talking about. Now you made reference to real quick. I wasn't. Now older auntie may have been wearing Daisy Dukes when she was younger. The point that I was making was when she got to a certain age and knew that it was a responsibility. Now she stopped dressing like that. That was the point. She would not present herself in front of the children like that. So that was the point. So she may have had her nightgowns and all that stuff that we didn't see, but she dressed in a certain type of way, and it's a responsibility. Like, we want to. I think that ultimately, as adults, we have to embrace, get out the fun part, because once you become a parent, it's now like another person. Life is dependent on how you present, how you act, and how you handle responsibilities
and the things you say.
It's a big responsibility. So we can't compensate that for I want to look cute.
Okay, but your words also matter, though. That's a piece that I think is missing.
Right.
A father can be a father and put rules in place, and if that child decides to question that rule, you can make 100% of the difference. This is a piece that I think men miss sometimes, from what I'm seeing here and from what I have heard. Your daughter wants to wear something that you deem inappropriate, that, per Mike's reference, she may have seen her friend wear. Instead of saying you can't wear that because that means you're a whore, or that means you're going to be doing inappropriate things, in your child's mind, she's like, well, my friend doesn't do inappropriate things, and I just want to dress like her. Instead of creating that negative comparison, you could simply say it isn't inappropriate. It's not something that I think you should be wearing, and you're not allowed to wear it. Simple as that. It doesn't have to become only thoughts wear that. Only it doesn't have to become that, and you can still put those firm, solid rules.
The problem with what you just said, that's how you view it. The man's responsibility, that's how you view it. The man's responsibility is to let her know how men view how she's dressing. How some men view how you. So that's his responsibility. Your responsibility is to tell her, as a woman, what is the more responsible way of dressing from a woman's perspective. A man
about was putting rules in place.
So because what you just did, right? What would you do? You're telling a man how to communicate to somebody.
I'm telling a father how not to lose his daughter's attention and trust.
No, but that's why it has to be. No, that's why it has to be a balance. His role is to protect.
But you just
hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hey, shout out to my big brother Yanga in the chat, man. Appreciate you coming over to the society. If you want to hop on the panel, come on. We could use some of your wisdom. Yeah, y'all go ahead.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna finish up. His role is to protect. So that's why it needs to be a balance, and that's why you have a masculine and a feminine. That's why you can communicate to her, and y'all can come up to a conclusion as to. That's why the communication is the most important thing, because y'all need to have that conversation as to what is the middle line. As far as what y'all both want to agree on as to how she's dressing, but far as how he views things, he's communicating to her and letting her know what a lot of men think. No matter what you think about it, or no matter how you feel about why men think that way, the reality of the situation is men think like that. So he's getting her prepared for the real world. Your responsibility will be more so communicating to her what is the appropriate thing to do and how to move in that way.
What's his name? Solar?
So just call Solar. Just Solar.
I want to repeat what I said, and I want you to listen to me this time, okay? As her father, you want your daughter to trust you. You want your daughter to listen to you. You want your daughter to feel safe with the advice and the information that you provide her with. You do not want to turn her against you, correct? So when you come to her as a father and you say, you can't wear that because whatever you insert as that because matters. So it can't be because those shorts make you look like a whore. That's not gonna work.
Matters how? How does it matter?
How does it matter?
Yeah.
Because it matters how she perceives it, how she receives it, and how she processes it in her head. And it matters how, if she feels, okay, my dad is caring about me or my dad is judging me, which often makes the decision-making different. Am I going to rebel because I'm feeling judged, or am I going to listen and respect my father because I feel that he's protecting me? So the way you deliver the information absolutely matters.
So the key word that you used was feel. We're not wired like that. You know what I'm saying? We're not wired that way. I'm sorry. Like we're not wired in a way. Hold on a second. This is something that we're not wired in a way to say, well, just because you feel like this is the reality of the situation. Like the reality is that men look at women in this certain type of way that dress like that. Mm-hmm. So how you feel is not going to stop certain situations from happening. My duty ultimately will be to prevent those situations from happening. So if you feel some type of way, right? If you feel some type of way, if you feel some type of way about, the rules being straightforward, it's a reason why the communication is like that. Because a lot of times, her peers, they're going to be running all types of game. They're going to do what they can. They're going to be lying. I'm talking about the men. I'm talking about the men that she's going to be. They're going to be doing all types of lying and all types of trickery and all types of manipulation, running all types of game. She needs to know how men think when she's going out into that real world.
So are you going to explain that to her, though? Are you going to explain that to her? Or are you just going to keep on with the no, you can't because I said so?
Oh, no. I think that you do need to put explanation on it.
You
do need to put explanation on it. But it needs to be
nobody said otherwise.
He just said it. He was like, I am the head of the household. I am the man. I am the protector. I'm going to be the one that say, no, you can't wear that.
Right. He said he's going to say no. He didn't say he's not going to say why.
He said he
You
wasn't
guys
going to
keep admitting
communicate
it.
it.
He
Why
said
do
he
I
wasn't
have
going
to
to say why
communicate?
because they don't have feelings. He said
Right. Why do I?
we don't have
Thank you.
feelings.
No,
He
no.
said the
When
keyword
it gets
feel.
That's him.
when it gets
So-
to the point of the straight talk.
He's talking about
I'm not saying
saying
obviously it's going to be an explanation behind why but it's going to be straight talk. And what a lot of times and what I was engaging was, you know, how men perceive women. She needs to know that. She needs to know that. So it's going to be straight talk because she said that, well, she didn't want the explanation to be like, well, yeah, because you're looking like a whore and da 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 da. That's what
No,
she
I didn't
said.
say da 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 da. I said you want to keep your child's trust and you want to make sure she hears you and she can respect your perspective.
Okay, so
that's all I'm saying. It doesn't have to be negative and
We
hurtful.
don't
It can
have
be
to-
straightforward. It can be honest. It can be your
Yanga,
view.
hit the panel. Hit the panel.
I would take the middle road and concede that I would still say that, but I wouldn't say that you look like a whore. I wouldn't say that. I would say that there's men out there that perceives you like this when you dress that way.
We don't
This
have
is
to
why
wait.
I don't want you
We
dressing that way.
We don't have to wait for a study or anything to see the outcome of the way that Trevor and Michael and Solar have described or what should be done. Because you could just go to Jazz in the Garden and see all of the grown women that don't put no clothes on because their daddies absolutely have the same mindset as the three men on this screen. All I'm saying
That's not
is that
true.
if you put the
They daddy
guardrails
wasn't
in
there.
place,
Yeah, their dad probably wasn't there. Don't just say that. Don't listen to that.
What is she making reference to? I'm a little lost on what she's talking about.
60s of people going to
Oh,
Jazz in the Gardens.
See, we live in
was
Florida,
good old
Solar. So
What I'm trying to say,
Oh.
what I'm trying to say is that if you center your conversation around the fact that I don't want you to do this and put these guardrails in place and not just make it a blanket statement and it's just I'm the law. That didn't work. I'm not taking your power away from you.
Yes.
I'm not saying that men shouldn't be men, but I'm saying that men have to learn a new way of talking. They have to learn a new way of communicating. They have to tap into their feelings. Like there's this whole narrative that we supposed to be this the machismo that's going around. That's how people are losing their daughters because you can't bring yourself down to have the conversation the way that maybe she's able to receive it. It's not just one way, and that is what happened in the past. It was just one way.
Aren't you saying it's one way? That's the difference. You're saying it's one way. That's another way. That's
right.
What you're saying.
I mean,
saying that there are
what happened to the?
Okay, so if you're saying there's many ways, then my way might work too. Your way my way might work with my baby.
We have data that shows that your way does not work. I told you to go to Jazz in the Garden.
Hold on. One second. Yanga just hit the panel and he's working on this debate for this weekend, so I'm gonna let him jump in. But whoever this Noab Sabat guy is, I'm trying my hardest not to respond to you, but there are no apostles on earth today. If you want to dispute me, email Solar Vision Debate League on there and we could do that. So yeah, you can get out of here. That's not this conversation. That's not this conversation. So get the hell out of here with that.
Man.
All right, what's up, Yanga?
Funny. What's up, man? Peace, man. Is that Mike? Okay.
Yeah, that's Mike.
What's up, man? Long time no see. Shouts out to Trevor, hot show, my guy. Shouts out to the panel, ladies. Commissioner Solar, yo, check me out. I have to give a plug. I hope it isn't shameless. Easter, Sunday, April 9th, Minister Rio Howe and your boy Yanga, we going at it on a debate. Who is the intended sacrificial son, Ishmael or Isaac? Please check it out. Yo, with that being said, oh yeah, it's like that.
I'm thinking now.
Yeah. It's gonna be hot. But I wanted to address, I'm gonna throw my little 2 cents in here. It's already hot, so I don't think it could get any hotter. I hear what the sister's saying, and to a degree, let me just say I hear what she's saying. Yeah, I think we have to find better ways to communicate. But, to ask us to acquiesce that far, to ask us to begin at what point, I think the sisters are telling us, you begin to defy fatherhood for us and the nature of the relationship with our children.
That's not
and how our children. And sometimes our children, there may be a presence and a dominance. Sometimes a father may not have to say anything, just a look or a presence. What happened to the sisters? Explain, especially, I forgot who was saying it. It was Solar was alluding to it when he was saying, "Yo, I'm giving my daughter how a male's perspective." So what happened to the sisters teaching our young daughters how to understand their father or their men, or how to work with certain things? Like men we have to teach our sons how to be in better relationships and be communicative. But I think that's both ways around. You have to tell your daughter, your dad, how he is and this and that. When do you come in and begin to be the translator in it?
Preach,
Help
black
her meet
man.
me.
But
Help her reach. I'm the dad here. Help her reach my standard. Why am I sitting here, really trying to get this child? Well, you don't want to run your daughter away. You don't want discipline because I
Y'all
told her
minimize
that
dads.
Goalpost
Not
again,
not
the
to
goalpost has been moved.
full respect received and appreciated.
Thank you.
What I'm trying to say is, and listen, please understand that in no way is my intent to minimize a man's ability to speak to his children and have that authority that you guys absolutely deserve. What I am saying is, as mothers and as daughters, we have seen the relationships that we have with our dads be non-existent based on the language that they used. So what we are saying as daughters of fathers who have used that language, it doesn't work. I'm not telling you, King, how to be a father. I'm not telling you exactly what words to use. I'm just telling you to care about the words that you use. And Mike actually said earlier that we aren't supposed to say, how your dad is or whatever, because we're kind of softening or making it seem like he's the problem. I don't like doing that. If I say,
Okay.
like for my fiance specifically, he likes to yell. I will say, he just talks like that. But what he said is what we have to do. I still back him up. However, I don't always agree with the delivery. I will soften that, but not at all am I trying to say that a father should not be able to be stern and authoritative. I am saying a father doesn't have to be negative and hurtful.
Right. Well, let me ask you this, and this is let me ask you this, and was your mother and father together?
Absolutely not.
See, that plays a big role too, because there's a culture and an environment that is established. I do it to my son all the time. I be like, yo, man, do these dishes because or do this because you know how your mother is. But there's a whole culture that reinforces that. So I get what you're saying. If you're a dad that pops up, and it's not pop up, I have children that are outside the house, but that relationship and that dynamic is different. My criticisms aren't as staunch but nonetheless, they know when I pop up, and it's still their mother. In fact, I think that some women use it to their advantage. Yo, your dad comes to visit this day and this day, don't make you get an unexpected visit. Do I have to call your dad? So there is a certain type of a thing, but I will agree. If we look at the data, I think that we have to factor in the proximity of the father, or if the direct involvement of the raising of the children, because culture plays a difference in that too. And I think maybe culture would allow a little more firmness, a little more harshness at times, because it allows a lot more love too. Because you're there, it's sometimes it gets meted out. Father, look at Trevor, he'll get off the thing. Yo, it's wrestling. My daughter that made the visitations twice peeping in. It's time for me to go, fellas. So, it mets out some of the punishment. And I don't want to be redundant, but that's the kind of point I'm making.
See, I like him.
Thank you.
I don't want none of y'all got to like me. Nobody got to like me. I'm cool with it.
Hey, Yanga, I was just looking at the website today. If the playoffs started today, it would be me and you, right?
I didn't know. I knew it was inevitable. I knew we were going to see each other in playoff. I didn't think you and I would probably start it off.
What up,
Yeah,
but I'm looking forward to it.
I am, on the other hand, going to be redundant and continue to emphasize the fact you
I
know,
love
in
me.
my research hat, stating that if what we did,
I thought this was a
that
drop the
way,
mic moment for Yanga. Like, you know, you know.
No.
She
I
so-
love
My
it.
sister
Oh,
here.
you
We
were
need
just
to get
loading
her in
back
the
up, huh?
lead.
You just loading back up.
I am going to hold them and state the obvious, as I've been saying from the beginning. If what we did worked so well, where are we now? We did
Sure.
not
That, no,
like
what
But
exactly?
I mean,
What exactly is your
narrative.
argument, though? You're saying
This
that? Are you saying that?
this narrative
all
that
the
is
data isn't in.
no, because during the
All
Industrial Revolution and post Jim Crow, all of the dads were in the house. All we were 2-family homes.
the
So
data's not in.
the
That's not
byproduct,
true.
what you know what I mean.
No, no. I mean, for the most part,
the
she's correct
statistics
in
of
that.
Yeah,
how
let her
many
go. Let her go.
people
Let her go.
the statistic of how many people were married, the 2-parent family home. If we're
Mhm.
talking about statistically where we were and where we are now, I'm saying we are living in the residual, the byproduct of an era that we celebrate that supposedly went so well. So
I don't
I'm
know.
just saying,
You're right.
I'm not saying that your way is the right way, and I'm not saying that my way is the right way. Wait, I'm not saying that your way is the wrong way, and I'm not saying that my way is the right way. I'm just saying, can we explore a new way?
Who hurt you?
Here's what
Who
I'm
hurt
saying. I'm saying all the data is not in, especially if you're not factoring in the crack epidemic. You're not factoring in the intentional and deliberate attack against the black family. If you
White
factor all of
supremacy.
these things out, white supremacy, all of that good stuff, but even if I don't go there, you're not talking about. If you're talking about, like, I don't know how old you are. You know what I'm saying? I might be
You
old enough
don't
to
need
be
to know.
close to your father.
I know.
Yeah. But I'm saying this, absolutely. But I'm saying this for generational thing. What generation are you talking about? My mother was the 80s generation, the whole crack era thing. So am I judging by her grandmothers or this and that? So the data, when I say the data isn't in, you're saying that way didn't work. We haven't seen our children grow yet. We don't know. We don't know if that way worked. We have to
How
wait till our children are around this
We
age.
are the byproducts. How are we saying that didn't work? Of
You are
course,
the
there are
byproduct of
multiple
what?
Yanga. What she's
multiple
saying is
variables.
Yeah.
that she's talking about us, like far as we are the ones that are having these different perspectives now, and she's saying that is a
Oh,
result
see, that's
of
what I'm saying. I have to get off
how
the
we were
panel
reared
because y'all
as
might be
children.
millennials. I'm not a millennial though. So I don't know.
He was at the cusp. They started the 1980 started millennials.
Okay, see, I'm not a
so we're
millennial,
millennials.
so
Remember,
it's a whole
millennials
different,
are old
right?
now.
It's a whole different conversation.
Millennials
That's a
are
whole
old
different
now.
conversation.
Generation X and
Yeah,
millennials,
but
there's a very thin
right.
cross.
That's what I'm. But see, if we're talking about from my perspective, like I started having children late. You know, my first child was at 30. So
Shit.
when you're talking about when you're talking about what doesn't work, I'm old school. Like you're talking about, I get it because I look at my nephews and my sisters had children young, so I get what you're saying. But it's hard for me to factor that in because it actually, my father was there. It was a 2-parent household, so it actually, some of that what you're saying worked, and it worked for my sister Naila, and it worked, and they went on to be successful people. Now, my nephew's age, the younger 30s and that mid 30s and stuff like that, early 40s, I don't know.
Right.
So I'm gonna sit back and listen at this point. I'm gonna gracefully bow out. But thank you for having me on the panel.
Man,
Keep up the
Appreciate it,
fire,
Yanga.
sister. Keep that fight up. Keep the fight up, man. Listen, let me get my plug again. April 9th, Mike is going to take it personal. That's what he does. April 9th, SVDL, man. Check it out.
You boring.
Sacrificial son, Ishmael Isaac, man.
Messing with our
All right, man.
promotion.
Thank you, Trev.
All right,
doubt.
peace, Yanga.
Are you gonna drop that in the
Peace,
Straight
man.
Talk Society, Trevor?
Yeah, I'm a you because my debate next weekend, so you know I'm a run through the whole thing before I close the show out.
Yeah, I think that she made a valid point, you know, and I think that
She who?
Yanga, Nene, because I don't see the names up there.
Nene.
Yeah, she made a valid point about about that, you know, if it's working. I think that Yanga made a valid response by saying that there may be other factors playing in, because you know you're looking at our rearing. A lot. I know when I grew up that it was very rare. I think that on a block that I grew up on, it was probably maybe 3 out of the whole block, and I'm assuming that it's maybe close to 50 houses on a block. There may be like 3 or 4 I can remember that actually had a father in the house, and it was almost abnormal situation because most of everybody, you know, they're like, well, my mom, because the mom was always the one that was running the show because she was a single parent. So we're looking at the residual effects of that. So as adults now, you know, and I'm 40 too. So I'm kind of like, you know, they said the ex-millennial is what they call it. Kind of like millennial-ish, but you know, influenced by the X generation a lot.
42 or you're 42 and
No, I'm 42.
Oh,
I turned 43 in like 3 days.
okay.
Okay.
Aries.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, that past generation, and you can see not all across the board. I think that the crack epidemic played a significant role in, you know, one, you know, the prison, the industrialization of the prisons, and you know how they kind of created epicure laws to, create situations where it's the demographics of who's going to prison for drug charges was specifically directed to African American males. You've seen like a lot of the housing begin to become dilapidated as a result of that. We even have a term now in the hood. We just call it a crack house, and that's the house where all the crackheads used to go, and it's kind of an abandoned house. This is when all this type of stuff was going on. So you're talking about a deterioration of a culture. A deterioration, because I think that going back into what Nini was saying, that, you know, during the Industrial Revolution.
Okay,
no, that was Mia that's talking about the Industrial
Revolution.
Who is Nini?
Yeah, you better get Nini is my wife. You better give Mia her credit. You gonna check.
I'm sorry. Now, I see the names now, so my bad. What Dr. Mia was saying. Who said something about?
I'm sorry. She on the chat though.
Yeah. So what Dr. Mia was saying, she was those were functional families. You can see that from the Industrial Revolution up into going into that area. We could kind of give it a buffer to say that maybe going into like the mid 70s. So you see a correlation of like a deterioration and the increase of divorce rates as these certain things begin to become more prominent. Like, you know, so is it a good thing that the family stayed together, or is it a bad thing? Because we see it now, you know, coming out, you know, especially with us millennials, that the divorce rate is higher. We're becoming more materialistic as to how we even view each other. Is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? Because, you know, so and is it working? Because we're looking at it from a standpoint of, you know, women in America, especially Black women, they're exceeding balance in education, income, etc. Looking into the future, do you see it becoming something that's going to be conducive to a family? Based off of what we seeing statistically, the divorce rate is becoming more higher. And we're becoming to be more, even like on social media, we're becoming even more vicious in how we communicate with each other, etc. So
I think that should be the acknowledgement that the methodology did not work and that we should do something different.
So
but I keep getting on. I have had these ongoing conversation, and it's not the good old days, but that is I think your statement solidifies my argument of that the methodology utilized is not working, nor has it ever worked. So when we are celebrating structures and cultures and things that we perceive to have been reasons for this influence of why kids should be this and how they turn out that, I'm saying bullshit, it never worked. So let's get back to the drawing table and have a conversation of how we're going to move our community forward, being honest of the fact that we really don't have a framework. It absolutely has been tarnished due to white supremacy. It has been tarnished due to the school to prison pipeline, Jim Crow. I'm saying that everything that we thought worked It never worked. So let's go back to the drawing table, have these real conversations of how we should talk to our daughters and how fathers should have feelings and be able to bring himself down, because being able to acknowledge your feelings shows your masculinity more than anything.
Well, I don't think it's a question about acknowledging the feelings. I don't think it's a question about acknowledging the feelings. I think it's more so about what is the role as to how he's going to approach certain situations in today's society. Now, when you talk about what didn't work, what you talk about what didn't work, what part of the nuclear family wasn't working, as opposed to, because I think Ganya made the argument, which I think is more valid, is that we're adults now that lived in a majority situation where the father wasn't around. So this is why you see this, as opposed to what you're saying, like the other way around. It's because of the nuclear family. No, the father was taken out the house, and now we're adults, and we really have certain things where, as though, remember, like, you know what I'm saying, certain cultural norms that was permanent produced certain type of people that were productive. I don't think we're doing that now. Like, I guess you could say the crack generation, from the 80s going up, because we're 40 now. No, we grew up in situations where the father wasn't around. So it would kind of be kind of what Ganga was saying. We didn't have the father around. This is why it's so much,
I'm saying that the baby boomers, who are our parents, this is the aftermath and the residual effect of the baby boomers, of when there was 2-parent family homes, and then all of the gates opened up and we had all of these great baby boomers. We are the byproduct of the baby boomers.
Correct.
So our perception of family, culture, gender roles, everything that was curated for us by the baby boomers is what we're living right now, which is the byproduct of why I'm saying it didn't work. When we talk about the time when the 2-parent family households was there and everything was so great and the family structure was thriving, I'm saying it was a facade, because we are the byproduct of the baby boomers, and we've chosen the opposite.
No, we're not.
That's why I said I don't think we're the byproduct. What was the year of the baby boomers? What was the year?
Michael,
the byproduct of baby
I can tell you, because I teach the class of Generation Wars at FIU. We can go.
Then go. You acting like I'm running. I ain't going nowhere. I got your phone number.
Your mother, sir, is a baby boomer.
No, she is not.
Okay. When was she born, Michael?
My mother's a Generation Xer.
When was she born, Michael?
Why
go
you
ahead.
want to know my mother's
age? What is trying to get her year? Just trying to get her email address.
Trying to get her bank account?
The boomers were 46 to 64, so my dad would be a baby boomer.
1946 to 1964.
Oh yeah. So yeah.
Go ahead, Michael. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. That was.
I said I will not put my mother's age. I will not put my mother's age out there. You ain't putting my mama.
My mom's a baby boomer. Yeah,
my mama was young.
Boomer. Your mama was a boomer.
She was not a boomer. She was young though. Leave my mama alone. She's an honorable woman.
No one questioning that, sir.
Yes, she is, Michael. Yes, she is.
Dr. Mia, you was making a point about the baby boomers.
No, I'm just
saying they made us.
Right. I'm saying that they
made
us.
Mess.
Right. And we are a hot mess. And I can own my mess. I always say that the therapist needs therapy. And it's because of this perception, because I was raised in a 2-family home. My dad came home every single day. We had a house in Melrose Park. He was a pastor. My mom sang in the choir, all that. But it didn't stop me from losing my virginity at 16. What I'm saying is that when we talk about what worked, that's all I'm saying. When we talk about what's worked, let's talk about it. Let's put it within context and be really honest about ourselves and say, did it work? And do we just need to have the conversation of what we need to do to rejoin our families? Because you're right, there's a lot of reason why the Black community and Black families fell apart. But until we're willing to come to the table and fix it, ain't nobody coming to do it for us.
Right.
We can't blame each other, the Black woman, this, and because I talked about Trevor and Michael, and I said there's so many YouTube conversations out there happening, but not enough people are talking about the healing and making sure we put things and structures in place to get this right. But all we doing is pointing fingers. So I'm just saying Let's just figure out how we're going to fix it, and not by pointing fingers.
You know how I feel. There's no way to fix it. Society's
Right,
fucked.
because Michael is the glass half empty, and I'm the glass
All the way
half
empty.
full.
All the way empty.
All the way empty. Well, I think that you had a lot of things going on then that you enlightened us on, like, you know, the year of the baby boomers, because my mom will fall into that category.
Mine too. I just ain't want to admit it.
I mean, not a baby boomer. Yeah, she's 54, so she would be right in the middle there. But like, I think that when you're talking about what had happened in America, period, you know, as far as the sexual revolution and integration, a lot of things was going on in that era politically, and that's going into like that second wave of feminism, and all these different factors played into shaping the minds of the children that was going on up in that time, which had a residual impact on the family structure.
Wait, what?
You had a lot of revolutionary movements going on at that time.
Okay,
Wait a minute.
That nigga sound like a textbook.
That was a long
on a whole different field, because if we go into the feminism talk, we're gonna be here for another 2 hours.
Hold
Well,
on.
you don't think that feminism had an impact on the argument of, because that was the aspect of the feminism especially the second wave of feminism. When you read certain magazines, it was talking about challenging how men communicate with the women, especially that was directed to the Black community.
So why is it that you get to tell women on this panel and in your house or whatever you were saying earlier how they should be women, but when we suggest something, man, it's a problem, it's an issue, then you want to take it back to, basically, I feel like you're blaming us. The reason why the kids are all messed up right now is because y'all women, y'all got rights, and y'all in the Femininity Act, and when I read it in this book and in the magazine and what, like, if you gonna tell me how to be a woman, I'm listening. Go ahead.
No, I never said anything about how to be a woman. I wasn't saying that.
You said you did. You said,
you see what she heard though, Solar? You see what she heard?
She heard.
You see what she heard? All that you said, that's what she heard.
He said the women need to do this, and as a woman, you should be doing this, and as the mother, you need to be doing. That's not telling a woman what to do.
No, I was saying. No, I was going back to her and saying what she said. She said that you should say this. I'm saying that no, that's how you communicate. I was basing on what she said.
Okay.
She said that, well, won't you say this and this and this?
Michael, stay out of
it. That's how you talk to. That's how men talk to the door.
I said don't.
Men talk to the daughter like this. That's what I was saying.
So okay, based on that comment solely, Solar, based on that statement, you're saying men, it is okay, and fathers hurt their daughters, and we just need to accept it.
No, I mean,
no, because that is all I said is care about the words that you use, not to lose your daughter's ear, and then they're not listening to you because they're feeling judged. I'm sorry I used the word feeling, and you guys kind of cringe about that, but what I'm saying is based on what you said. You said based on my comments that I'm not telling you the words to say. I'm not giving you a script to use. I'm just saying choose them. Choose your words and understand that they matter, and that is going to dictate whether you keep your child's trust and attention, and whether they're going to really want to follow the blueprint that you're setting for them, or if they're going to say, you know what, my dad is just so out of touch, and just my dad doesn't care about how I feel. Based on that, I'm going to go listen to everybody else. That's the only thing that I'm saying. I'm not telling you what to say. I'm not giving you a script to use. What I am saying, though, is you need to edit the script that you are using if it is including hurtful words that your child is not connecting with. The point is,
I truly believe, like, that's why it's like a full thing, and understanding, like, as men, the responsibility of parenting, because if you have a working relationship, it ain't just like, I'm not saying nothing to her until she dressed like this and say, you can't dress like that. No. When we go as far as like, hold on a second. It's the reason why I'm bringing all this up. Like, Yeah, on the weekends we go, to the movies and bust it up, and we chill, and like, so we have a working relationship. Whereas though, when I'm giving like a straight talk, she understands what place it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're just going to be an authoritarian. We're talking about a specific situation. So if you have a working relationship with your child, and in this instance you're being authoritative, I don't think she's just going to be like, oh, no, I'm not going to listen to her. I'm just going to listen to some knucklehead running down the street. You know what I'm saying?
That doesn't fit their narrative. They think we're trying to be authoritarians. No man is
No,
no man walks in the house.
No, that's a very important aspect when you talk from a male perspective.
I ain't saying nothing about 30 minutes.
That's a very important aspect of protection when you're talking about the dressing up your daughter.
Lord have mercy.
Come on, Mike. Come on.
We didn't say nothing. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is y'all acting like we're authoritarians. We're not.
That's what y'all think.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't even know what the hell I'm.
Go ahead. Hey,
2 words.
One second. So you guys know I like to keep these about 90 minutes, and we're approaching. No, hold on, Mike. Chill. We're about to hit that 2-hour mark, and a couple of people have said in the chat that this should be a part 2. I definitely agree with that. We need to set that up, but we have a lot of debates coming up in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, I got 2 in a few weeks, so we'll definitely get a part 2 coming up. But what I did want to say to Bridget, I'm gonna get us about 20 more minutes because the conversation's so great. What I did want to ask Bridget, so you guys, the constant thing is how you say it.
Just ask Mike the question.
Hold on, because I think Mike gonna agree with. I think Mike gonna agree with me. Mike good. Listen.
Mike good. Listen, go ahead.
So Bridget, Mia, Shaka, you guys keep talking about. Hey, Mike, I'm the host and I ain't getting to say nothing. So what the hell are you talking about?
You're not supposed to say nothing.
But anyway, so you guys constantly harp on is how you say it or the tone that you're saying it or this and that. Your words matter. Your words hurt. This, and this. Can you guys admit? I'll admit that sometimes our delivery may not be the best and it can be hurtful, but can you guys admit that your silence is just as detrimental as our hurtful words? That you guys wanting to be friends with your kid instead of telling them like, boy, you know what, your daddy might be right, but you guys are being silent. You're saying a lot in your silence. Can y'all agree that we're being equally as hurtful? Are y'all not going to be able to agree with that?
I can't agree with that because I don't relate to that. I will say this, though. I am a parent that fully considers my children's feelings when I speak, but I'm also speaking as a mother. I'm also speaking, though, as a daughter who did not get to experience a positive father because he was a crackhead. So if we want to talk about why the fathers weren't in the home and an abuser, so we can have that conversation. However, I have also seen relationships where when the father speaks to the daughter from a place of, yes, this is how a man thinks, and you are my daughter, and you are a queen, and you are this, and you are that, when he is still being authoritative, but being uplifting and being encouraging and making sure she is filled, that relationship is a lot better than, no, you look like a slut. You're going to be this, and they're going to think you're that. And no, that doesn't work. So the only thing I'm saying is, and Trevor, you used very specific words. You said we harp on words matter.
Y'all do.
Harp on, we focus and we ask you to focus on what you say and how you say it because it matters. So we're telling you that for a reason. Like, it's not to control you. It's not to dictate how you parent, but because women are emotionally driven. And I agree, we are, but that's often seen as an insult. We are emotionally driven and we are talking about our daughters. So we're trying to help you drive in the direction of keeping a relationship with them and a positive, open line of communication. So your question was, our silence when it comes to, I guess, the correction of things that they're doing wrong, I can't relate to that. I don't know what that looks like. I'm not silent when it comes to things needing to be corrected. When I speak, though, they hear me.
That's fair.
They don't feel belittled. They feel corrected because there is love and correction, but they don't feel hurt or like, oh, my mom just beat me down. Like, I don't know. That's all I got.
All right, Mike, you got 2 minutes. Go. Just go. Get it off.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll mute everybody if I have to. Go. Get it off.
Oh my God. All I'm saying, I done lost my little zest for life now. All I'm saying is you guys are acting as if we walk in the room with a belt, kick the door in, and be like, you better not put them shorts on. They 2 inches past your knee. Like, ain't nobody doing that. We're talking to you about what we feel about it, saying that we think that a thought pocket's outside and that's how they look. Nobody's running in my kid's room and screaming at her about it. I'm telling her, you're not wearing that. Just like I would tell a woman I'm with, we're not wearing that. You're not putting me in a position where I have to defend. What the hell is that? What are y'all doing?
Go, Mike. Go. Just go. Y'all don't interrupt them. Go. No, go. Just because you triggered them. You just triggered them.
Psychological warfare. Don't worry about it. Keep
going.
Just
go.
You to, brother. They do psychological warfare.
Like I said, just like I tell the woman I'm with that there's certain things I'm not doing. Now, I'm not saying that as a grown woman you can't wear what you want to wear. I'm saying as a grown woman that's my woman, you can't wear certain things. You can choose to leave. You can choose to go. And I'm happy for you. Please go. Because I don't want thigh pockets in my house. I don't want thigh pocket outfits. But I'm saying, as a man, I'm allowed to hold a certain guidelines or boundaries of what I want. Stop. I feel like my daughter is coming up great. I have to every 3 weeks. I gotta take time off of work to go back to go to her school to sit down for some new damn award she's winning. My daughter hasn't had any problems in school. My ex-wife and I, who are co-parenting, we talk about the issues that are going on with our child, and we come together and we get on her as a unit, so she can't use either one of us against each other. I feel like I'm doing it the right damn way. Now, y'all can feel how you want to feel. That's cool. But in 20 years, when my daughter's saving the world, and y'all ragged ass, no, I'm just playing. But when my daughter's saving the world,
don't finish that.
When my baby's doing her thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sit in my little deathbed, and I'm gonna sit up. I'm gonna get my little green Jello on my ice cream, and I'm gonna say I did my damn thing. All the people that thought I was hurting, crying out of their damn mind, because I raised the real one. And she ain't gotta show her ass to get attention. She ain't gotta wear her nipples out to feel validation. She ain't gotta feel sexy for any, for those stupid. Oh, I have to wear Daisy Duke so dudes know I'm fine. No, my baby gonna walk out in a crisp suit, and she gonna be like, I'm the shit. Period. Point blank. Now y'all handle your business.
Drop your mic, brother. Drop your mic, brother.
Black man. Go Shaka. Oh God, not that. Shaka, what's up?
Yes. I didn't hear you. What did you say?
No, it's on you. It's on you.
Oh no, I agree with Breezy. I agree that I am not my child's friend. Like I said, she is 23. She is in college. She's about to graduate in a couple weeks. She's gonna turn 23 next week. I feel like I did a great job. I too am a divorcee. My ex-husband and I, we communicate when it comes to my child. I will tell you. I mean, Trevor, you've known Alani since she was tiny. I mean, she's still a kid. She still, would go through things. But as far as doing it right, I feel like I've done it right. I am not her friend. I am her mother. I am her parent. And I make that very clear. However, we are going to have a conversation about it because I need her to understand why I feel or why I say the things that I say. But I'm not trying to take anything away from any father. Of course, your opinion matters. What you say matters. But I feel like you came in. What's up? What's good? I feel like
did it when I was talking. I'm just trying to do it too.
I was just saying, I feel as if when I came into the conversation, it just seemed like you were busting in the door with a belt saying you ain't wearing that because I said so. That's how it came off. I'm not saying that. Right, but I'm not saying that that's really what you do. I'm sure you sit and you talk and have a conversation, but you didn't really relay that in, when you were talking. That's just how I feel. I feel like you did.
And let's not, we keep forgetting.
Hold up, Mia. Hold up. Shaka, you were done?
No, yeah, go ahead. I want to hear what Mike said. I didn't hear what he said.
We keep forgetting why we're here. The reason why we got to this place and why all my wig stood up is because Trevor did say that when his daughter leaves the house, she has to get approval from her daddy. And then if her daddy tell her whether she can wear that or not.
You took that out of context.
Grows older.
That's what you're saying.
Once she grows older, he's going to pass that baton on to her husband. That is the initial grassroots origin of how this conversation was.
I didn't say it like that.
Nene
I
is
wasn't on
on
your
the
team.
phone. We could bring
That's a
Nene
good man.
in.
That's a
I
good
wanna
man
bring
for
y'all
Yo,
to
your wife sold you out in church so fast.
I'm telling you, that's what he said. That's why I was like, Trevor, you don't understand how in the long run, how that is going to negatively impact how she
Correct.
sees herself,
Correct.
how she presents to the world. When every time she walks out the door, she has to look at you for approval in order to validate her exit out of the door. And
Well,
I
to you
was
lovely ladies
saying-
on the chat, please direct your negative energy to the dude over there.
that
But
is
you know, I'm directing it to you, Mike, because you got to tell
Agreed.
your woman what she can and can't wear. Like,
Or she gotta
I don't
leave.
tell her what
Hold
she
on,
can
hold
and
on, hold
can't
on,
wear.
hold on.
I tell
She's
her
a
what she
thought
can't
pocket.
wear.
Hold on,
Because
because
I'm not fighting 30 niggas because you got your ass checked out. I'm
Get
sorry.
your boots up,
but
sir.
if I got
Oh, get out of here.
If I got it's no show regardless of what I put on. Maybe you should be a little bit more, you know, I don't know, not so insecure about.
See?
That's
here
bullshit.
it go.
That's
It's
bullshit.
always a name
Yeah,
call.
that's bullshit.
It's always a name call. I'm not
Shaka,
insecure.
that's bullshit.
I'm not insecure
Shit.
about nothing. I've watched niggas go,
Listen to him.
who that bitch over there with the ass out? Go grab a bitch ass, and then she go, why you touching me? And now her man get his ass fucked up by gang members because he gotta wear,
Gang
because his girl
members?
gotta wear thought pocket outfits. It's stupid. I'm 43. I'm not fighting. I'm
That is
shooting niggas.
wow.
Okay, and I will soon to be 45, and I am not out in these streets with my ass hanging out. But
Then you
regardless
would
of
never
what I
have no
wear, because
problem.
I have an ass, doesn't mean that my ass
got
is
an
out.
ass?
It's just it's
Hey.
there. It
You
is
got
what it
ass?
is.
Go ahead, mom, with that.
we going back to the
She can't even be mad at that. Look at her.
Hold on.
These boys
With
not
King
to
Yanga
stop.
in place of
So can we teach the little boy not
No,
to grab
man, I
ass?
know you ain't trying to
Can we
kick
teach
nobody
little
out
boys
of
not to
nowhere.
grab ass? Can we
The
teach little
major-
boys not to grab ass?
Don't call
Why
women
don't-
bitches.
You
I-
talk
Why
about
don't you
that.
mothers? Why don't you mothers set that example?
Oh, are y'all telling us how
You
to
got-
mother again?
you
Go
the
ahead,
ones
sis.
raising
Y'all
them.
telling us how to
I've
mother
been
again?
told you how to mother.
Okay, so
Go
You
ahead,
guys
sis.
are the ones raising
Tell
them.
me how to be a woman. Go ahead. I'm
No.
listening.
Mia,
Gentlemen,
how is
tell me
that-
how to be a
how is
woman.
that- how is that a thing? I'm talking about a situation, right?
Right,
I
but
never
you're
said a
talking
thing
about
about boys.
accountability.
I never
You're
said
talking
a thing about
accountability.
boys. We're
But
not
that's
talking
what I'm
about
saying.
boys. If you want to have a conversation about boys, we can do that. I'm with all that.
What
But we're
I'm
not
saying
talking about
is
boys.
that-
Part
We're
two.
talking about girls.
Part
We're
two,
talking about
please.
girls.
that there is equal responsibility in the same.
I didn't say there wasn't. Stop inventing words that I didn't say.
That voice
Are
of
we
saying
married?
that my daughter
Are
is
we
going to
married?
get
'Cause
her
it sounds like you
ass
just
grabbed.
invented shit I
It's the
said and
same
telling you.
conversation of the ass grabber.
Who hurt
What?
you?
Say
You
it
okay?
again, babe.
Who hurt you?
Shaka, don't say
See
that.
what I
Don't
said?
say that.
See?
He's gonna cry. Don't
See
say
what they
that.
do? See what they do? That's women. That's women in a nutshell. I either gotta be hurt, insecure.
You need a hug.
What's the rest
You
of
need
it?
a hug.
Or
Let me
I'm
hug.
gonna
I'll
be
hug you.
gay next.
Virtual hug.
I'm gonna be gay next.
Virtual hug. It's
I'm
okay.
gonna be gay next.
It's
Hold
okay.
on. My bad. I found my tears.
That's what he did.
I
That's
don't
what
want
he
your
did.
raggedy hug. Take that shit somewhere else.
I mean, Mia, put your wig
Hey,
back on,
and for
love.
people in the chat, I don't care what she said. You two people on the top, you know me. You know I ain't hurt. You know I'm not abused. You know I'm not crying. You know when this is over, I'm gonna go talk to my daughter and watch TV with her or something. But the rest of y'all that think I'm hurt or insecure or whatever, fuck you very much. I don't care. I don't care in the slightest.
You
I'm a
do. It's
man and I
okay.
stand on
It's
what I
okay.
believe in.
It's
If I
okay.
see either one of you women in the street,
What's
if I
up?
see either one of you women
What's
in the street
good?
in the
What's
costume,
good?
I'll shoot
What's
a
good?
nigga if he
What's
touches
good?
me.
What's
I'll
good?
shoot it. Now see? You see? I'm trying to say something nice and she
I
want to fight.
received it.
That tells
I
me exactly
received
who they are.
I
I'm good.
received it.
You go ahead and scrap, boo-boo.
I received it.
You go ahead and
Thank you.
scrap. Like I said, if I see any of you women in the street and anybody's accosting you, I'll do my best to stop it. I'll shoot them if I have to because I love black women. But that don't mean I'm gonna pander. I'm never
Mike,
gonna pander.
I might have on booty shorts. You're not gonna help me then.
If you have on booty
You're not
shorts,
gonna help me
I'm gonna
then.
defend you, and then I'm gonna say you got a thought uniform on, and I'm gonna keep it moving. That's what's gonna happen because I am honest about who I am. I really don't think there's a reason for it. I love y'all. I think y'all shapes are fantastic. Black women are the most delicious thing on the planet. I just want you to be looked at the way I see you. And the world views you as savages. That's how they talk about y'all. I get around these nerdy white boys and I hear how they talk. Y'all are the only thing y'all are is savages or some dark little dream that they have, and it fucking pisses me off. And when I gotta go cuss at them, now I'm the angry black man. Now he's the angry black guy. You feel me? That should hurt my feelings. Because then when I go outside and I'm like, I convince them, no, black woman of this, black woman of that. And then I go outside and I hear, Byron. It fuck up my whole argument.
Call him Byron.
That was a man, you know what the hell I was doing.
I would like to summon the kings in our society.
Thank you, Nene.
To change the narratives of what black women are. So we need to summon the kings, because when we are talking about masculinity and who leads the family and who leads the culture, I would summon the kings to stand up and let's start changing the narrative. Let's all stand in solidarity and say that we're going to change how black women are perceived, beginning with how we perceive them. And how
get out of the way and let us lead.
How can I do that when every time I feel passionate about them? How can I do that when every time I feel passionate about them, I'm insecure, hurt, gay, crying, broke, dusty?
I know your mom. I know
leave me. No, that's the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that way. Leave me.
They ask for us to lead them, and then they try to tell us how to do it. Like it's like
the first generation I've ever heard in my life that tells men how to be men. I've never heard it before in my life. You know what a real man is? No, boo boo, you don't either. What's up?
I gotta go.
Hold on. Okay. All right, so hold on, because everybody's asking for a part 2, and we definitely got to do a part 2. So we went well over the time.
No, me and Shaka got to fight first.
So Bridget, give us some. Hold on, y'all. Bridget, y'all give us some closing words, because she says she has to go.
Yes, I have to go. Okay, closing words.
Bring your booty. Sorry.
Words matter. Choose them. Yeah. Choose them, and understand that the way that they are received is going to dictate the direction that the situation goes. We're talking about the children, right? We want our children with us. Your words matter. That's all I'm saying.
I 100% agree.
So I appreciate you coming on the panel, and you could see more of Queen Bridget on Pour Your Heart Out. I think their next show is on April 20th, right here on the Straight Talk Society. Shaka, go ahead and give us your closing words.
Closing words are, I feel as if we should be better as a Black unit, men and women raising our children together, communicating, not just dictating because I am the head of the household and I'm just going to be quiet and let him do that. I feel like we need to have a deeper conversation. It starts at the top and then you can work your way down with the kids in the house, all the way down to the dogs. But I just feel like we need to communicate and understand, not just reply, just to defend what you said, just to understand where one another is coming from. And also, Mike, but go ahead.
I am going to bite the hell out of you. I'm sorry, my bad. I got triggered.
Shaka also is on Pour Your Heart Out, so you guys can see them. Dr. Mia's on Pour Your Heart Out. Solar, go ahead. Well, all right.
Wu-Tang shirt.
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
All right, Solar. Let us know what we got coming up on SVDL, because you should probably know it better than me, and then you can go ahead and close out.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do have a couple of debates lined up. Tomorrow we got Black Sun. He would be squaring off against KOT. Is America on the brink of collapse? On the 9th, Rio will be going up against Jenga. Who was Abraham planning to sacrifice Ishmael and Isaac? On the 15th, we got Madan. He's going up against Trevor. Are Black men in position to correct the Black woman? So that's something going to be very interesting. It kind of in the context of what we were talking about to a certain degree in this discussion. So make sure you be in the building for that. That'll be April 15th. My closing remarks. As what a couple of people said on a panel, Michael and Shaka. It was a communication that went on before they even communicated with the their children, so they could be on the same page. So in doing so, that's kind of like the formula, whereas though you don't run into problems where it's like she's feeling some type of way when it's communicated through the party because y'all both are in agreement. I think sometimes what happens um, is one parent saying one thing and then the other parent saying the other thing, which may cause, the child to, choose a side and then bulk up against it. And most likely the side that she chooses the one that she feels as though is going to, benefit her the most in terms of the topic that we're talking about. Now, going back to the father's responsibility and why it's important for things to be communicated in a stern way. Once again, as what I said earlier, it's us letting our daughters know how men view things, how they perceive things. And that's very important because most men that she engaged is not going to tell her those things because they're trying to cap. So she has to have that understanding when she's going into the real world. Now, the actual, uniform as what, was being used throughout this discussion.
The whole uniform.
The reason why that is a focal point is because we have videos. I think, what is it called? What was the last one that got, crazy traction? WAP or something like that?
Yeah.
And how they were dressed. This is going back all the way to let's go back to the names that I do know. Little Kim and Foxy. That's how they dressed. And then they had a language behind how with that dress. And we're looking at a video where though they're saying certain things dressed in that certain way. So this is something, that is being done in popular culture that's influencing how no different. I mean, since we're not talking about the subject, no different than our responsibility to let our young men know that, riding around in stolen cars ain't good just because you've seen New Jersey Drive. Because I know after we seen it, we was wanting to steal cars. So we have to have, communication to our young men. Like, no, you'll get locked up for that. That's not something that you need to do. You'll get locked up. They're going to throw you in kitty jail, and we got to tell them the ramifications of the actions that you do as from the time that they're a child, because there's a lot of other avenues that's influencing the children. So it's imperative for the father as the disciplinary to let their child know that, yeah, in this world, you can say it's unfair, you can say that it's not right. Okay, cool. Those are I understand what you're saying. But reality is that's the way it is. Now we could become these grand humanitarians and try to make a change and say we wish it would be like this. In a perfect world, yes, I wish it would be that way. But that's not the world that we live in. So in this world, this is how things are perceived, and you should operate like this to prevent X, Y, and Z from happening. So that's my input on the topic. Let me know when part 2 coming up.
Yeah, we'll get the date together and put it on the channel. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on the panel, Solar. Yeah, I appreciate it. You got Shucklebuck tonight, though. You know that. These girls Shucklebuck the hell out of you tonight.
They
put me through the ringer today, bro.
Yeah, they Shucklebuck the hell out of you tonight, man.
I got the power to mute them out, so I make it look good on my channel.
All right, Dr. Mia, I know you gotta go soon, so go ahead and
I'm going to try to do this without shaking my head or moving my wig.
Let that thing shake, girl.
We have to teach men how to be accountable for their actions. And it doesn't matter. Nothing should be predicated on what she is wearing as to be the reason or inform why she is treated the way that she is treated. It is equivalent to saying she made me hit her. At no point does what I wear should inform what happens next. Now, that is a cultural thing. Of course, we have some work to do, but if we are moving into a place of healing, we have to be accountable for our actions and make sure that people are able to own their ish. Okay. Y'all just got to be accountable. I am not okay with you telling me to not wear this and I'm having to get your approval. And I'm not raising my daughter like that. So at the end of this, the blue jean rape happened. So your argument of what she wears, whether it's gonna happen or not, is that it's null and void. It don't matter what she wears. The taunting and the catcalling and everything that's associated with they do that with you to have if you have a suit on. It doesn't matter. Making men accountable for their actions, teaching our young boys how to respond appropriately. And yes, the mothers have to step up. They have to do a lot more as it relates to setting the standard.
Absolutely.
Standard of how we present. Because then, Dad, you won't have to work that hard if mom sets the standard. So it is definitely a two-man job, two-woman, two-parent job. The feminism in me coming out.
Yes, let it out.
Don't get me on that. You talking about two man and two woman? Don't do that.
Oh no. So it is definitely the responsibility of both parents to ensure that your child is able to walk out in that world and be able to hold their own in your absence, because you are not always going to be here.
I cannot believe MD is saying this. I am shocked. I'm disgusted at you, MD, and you shouldn't have came over here so late because I would have had you defend this. You're gonna have to come back for part 2, or you can hit the panel right now before I close out. But so Dr. Mia, I know you got something to do, so I appreciate you rearranging your schedule. I mean, you got all these fans out here now because they love you. Angel even wants you to now join the debate league. She just loves you. So before you leave, because I was the only one that caught it when you said it earlier, you said a new way. Go ahead and plug that your firm, because Black people need some therapy, and you're the right person for it.
Yes, right. So I am a marriage and family therapist. I'm not part of the argument. I became part of the solution, because I believe that the only way that we're going to get to the other side of this is for us to do our work as a community. Superman is not coming. God ain't coming. Ain't nobody coming to save us. We have to fix this ourselves. So I have a business. I have my own practice on Hollandale Beach Boulevard. I do virtual also. It's called A New Way. And I always say, when you come into my office, I'm not telling you that your way is the wrong way and my way is the right way. Give me an opportunity for us to go a new way together, because there's always another path forward. There's so many things that we were taught that we have to unlearn and unpack so that we can be the citizens and we can live within our birthright and do the things that we were designed to do, and not the things that the society created in the structure of what they believed we were capable of doing. So A New Way, ANNEWWAY.com. There's a website. When you want to set an appointment, it says start your journey. And let's get this popping. We got to work on this. Let's do it together. I bring the same enthusiasm into my sessions because we're worth it.
Yo, 2 things. One, you need to make the spelling thing to the INDEPE, to that beat, because that shit was right. I was feeling when you were spelling it. I was right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, see, I got producers all over. If it ain't Venkat, then it's wifey in the back. There you go, www.anewway.com. We put it up there, and going forward, every time she's on, we will have it on running on the bottom of the ticker, because I believe that Black people, we need to heal from a lot of shit, and we've been running to the church too long for healing, and we're not getting it. Sometimes we need some professional help here. And this is my friend from we were little kids, so I know that she's legit. And I wouldn't bring anybody on here to steer you wrong. So you guys check out her website. You got Yanga. Yanga is one of the hardest debaters in the league, but you got Yanga asking for you to be back on part 2. Don't worry, Yanga. She's part of the Straight Talk Society. she kind of likes Pour Your Heart Out a little bit more. Now I feel like I'm dealing with a celebrity. Now I gotta beg my friend to come over to my show. She wants to be on Pour Your Heart Out, but nah, she's all good, man. Part 2, she'll be here as long as we make the dates work out. And what I do, I schedule all my shows and do premieres. So as long as you like the channel, you'll see what show is coming up. So who else did we have? Michael, peace. Thanks for coming by. Mike, what you got to close us out?
All right. First, I would like to let all the men know, don't believe them. They say they want conversation. They say they want you to talk. They want us to. I was. Why is it every time?
Yeah. You just easily distracted, bro.
Yeah, don't let her distract you, man.
She went like this. You said, see what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? She was waiting for it. All right. But they fronting, because the second you say something they don't like, they gonna say you're gay, they gonna say you're insecure, they gonna say your mama didn't love you, you didn't get enough hugs, the girl rejected you. They full of it. Don't listen to them. Secondly, don't let her fool you. She think I'm adorable. She would love me in real life. She just hate me on the show. Don't listen to her. Next, my problem is when I say the whole outfit or the whole uniform is sometime in the past, Black people took on characteristics from 2 of the worst places in the world. Black men took on jail culture like it was the shit. And Black women took on prostitute culture like it was the shit. Being a thug was the best thing in the world, and being a hoe was, or trying to look like a hoe was the best. You remember when costumes used to be normal? Now you got to be a slutty bunny. Like, what the fuck is a slutty bunny? I don't know, but I'm that. Like, I don't get it. Whatever. If you want to dress in a way that make people look at you as a hoe, cool. Do what you do. I will stare like every other man and then not take you seriously later. It's cool. I ain't mad at you. They like to say that the way we speak is gonna hurt our children. Men, do not let femininity ruin masculinity, okay? There's a reason they both exist, because they're both needed, okay? You are needed to be a man. You're not needed to be female plus or man light or masculine minus. Like, I don't know what the hell they trying to get y'all to think. Be a freaking man, okay? Your child needs to see that a man is coming at her directly to let her know when something's not acceptable. Okay? Now, you're not beating her down. You're not telling her, oh, you're beneath men. No, I'm letting you know that as the number one man in your life at this moment in time, I hold you to a certain standard. And that standard is to be the shit in all ways possible. And dressing like shit is not the same thing. Okay? I hold myself, like I said, to percentages and averages. All right? Now, you see a woman walking down the street, there might be a 2% chance she's not a hoe, but it's a 98% chance she a thot. Let it be what it is. So, like I said, I hold myself to percentages and averages, and I'm going to use the percentages to make sure my daughter ain't average. The rest of y'all can do what you want to do. My daughter going to be the shit. Point, period, blank, done. You all have a wonderful night. Oh, hold on. And one more thing. I still ain't got no tears, right? I gotta make sure. I ordered my tears on Amazon. They supposed to be coming next week. I'm sorry. I'll get them for you, Shaka.
Grow up.
Ow, that bullshit.
Grow up.
Moving along. Why? You ain't growing up. You still being a 2-year-old.
I am. I'm grown.
You're not grown. You
I'm grown.
like a 2-year-old.
I don't have to order Amazon tears. Okay, I'm grown.
That's literally a joke. And ordering on Amazon.
Well, it wasn't funny though.
Ain't no 2-year-olds ordering on Amazon.
What?
I know you need to get your earwax. Get that out. Work that out, boo boo.
Okay, Trevor. Cause yeah.
Yeah, we at the 2.5 hour mark now.
Yeah,
it is a little long.
So you have something else to say?
Yeah. Well,
I like your shirt.
I like the point that he made it in the end, where it's not just like, because we create these scenarios. Sometimes it though, thinking back on it, like, yeah, she was walking down the street and the dude grabbed her on the ass with 20 gangsters behind her armed with rifles, and we got to come and save it. Okay, that's it's possible in the hood, but very unlikely. But I think the last point that he made was the most valid, which would be how she's perceived and how a man of that would be best fit for her and how he would perceive that. You know what I'm saying? A good man, that's what y'all say. You're looking for a good man. You know, so
They don't want a good man.
And this is why we want to communicate to our daughters, like, you know, this is how men see things. So, because no matter what you call it, and then you say how we feel and all this and that, and how you word things, at the end of the day, you want to put your daughter in the best position to find that good man. So Absolutely. We're telling them how men perceive things. So he made a valid point when he said that, well, a good man is going to look at her and say, like what he said with the percentage, all men got their percentage, and it ain't high, you know, as far as in the positive, when a woman's dressed like that. Now, you're very beautiful, you're very attractive, but this is how men see things. So once again, that's putting her in a position where she understands these things and can operate accordingly. Because as an adult, you now have to make decisions. The role of the parents is to let her know what the real world is and how people view things. And we can get into this whole humanitarian thing about why and, you know, how we can fix it and all that. But at this point, this is the way the world is. So, okay, this is how men view things. Now, if she decides, knowing these things, to do whatever, then that's her choice. But you can't say that we ain't tell you. So that's our responsibility.
Facts. All right, y'all get out of here. Trevor trying to go.
All right, y'all. Hey, Angel crazy. Angel crazy. MD, when we do part 2, I need you to come back over here, man. Yeah, because I'm not used to hearing men say stuff like this. So I need you to come back over here for part 2. Yeah, I think he partly is trolling me. I already got all my debates set up, so you can't get one out of me. So, see, I guess that's what he's trying to do. But yeah. So again, I appreciate you guys for coming on the panel. So we got to definitely set up part 2. See y'all on the other side. Peace. Well, let me go ahead and close the show out. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, appreciate y'all for coming on. Well, Straight Talk Society, that was awesome. That was friggin' amazing. And I'm so glad that today being a holiday, we were able to do the show so much earlier, because the show was set for 10:15 tonight. But because everybody was off, we were able to go live at 4 o'clock. And especially that Dr. Mia has something to do tonight. So we had to kind of get it in. Thanks to MD, thanks to Yanga, thanks to Ricardo, thanks to Angel, thanks to Nini for running the boards for me. Thanks to Vancat. Even thanks to that guy that came in trying to talk crap about apostles. Who else did we have in here? Ricardo, Juju came by. Like, I mean, this is fantastic, man. Thanks to all my panel guests. I mean, Solar came over here and contributed big time. This is the first time I had Solar on my personal panel this long that we weren't talking about sports. So I really, really appreciate him coming by. Y'all don't forget to check out Solar Vision Debate League on YouTube. You'll go and see all the debate lineups. Check out solarvisiondebates.com and you'll see all the upcoming debates and everything like that. We're really going to get it crunk up. I have 2 coming in the next couple of weeks. I debate next Saturday at 8. What else did I have? Pour Your Heart Out will be out April 20th at 8 o'clock. The women on the panel tonight were just 3 of the 10 that's on that Pour Your Heart panel. I know Yanga was asking. Pour Your Heart Out isn't an additional channel. Pour Your Heart Out is just a show on the Straight Talk Society. So if you go through my channel and you'll see the Pour Your Heart Out shows. It's just a whole different feel. I'm nowhere on it. It's my wife completely runs that show. It's her thing. It's an all women's driven panel. 10 successful women get into the weeds and talk about life. They have a show coming up April 20th. I got to do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we have the UFC 287 preview show. Zay is super excited about it because he might be already there at the weigh-ins for UFC 287. So we're gonna get into that prediction show in the morning, and then Sunday morning we got the review show. So I'm gonna be really busy. Wrestling with Reality, we did 3 straight shows. We did the WrestleMania preview, which got tremendous numbers, especially on Facebook. Wow. We got the WrestleMania preview. We did the Monday Night Raw watch along for the worst Monday Night Raw ever in history. We did a WrestleMania review show on Tuesday that went over 3 hours long. So listen, the Straight Talk Society, we got everything you need over here. NBA playoffs are getting ready to start up. So me and Venkat are just working on a structure for how we're going to do that. If you have not checked out, I put on my timeline today the new video, the introduction video for Wrestling with Reality. That friggin' video had me wanting to go live, just the way that he put that together. So that's on my channel. If you go look, you'll see it. It should be up to the top. What else do we have? Because I had 2 debates coming up, I probably won't be streaming as much until May. We'll still be having our shows every now and then, but we're going to push the wrestling shows back until we could, until the debating is over, just because, you know, I put a lot into my debate. So I got to do a lot of studying and things like that. And I don't want to not give it my full attention. So the next Wrestling with Reality show, we won't have one. We definitely won't have one this Wednesday. We'll probably have one the first week of May. And that's when we're going to do the watch along for Brock Lesnar versus John Cena in their Extreme Rules match. And like I say, we have the NBA playoffs coming up and everything like that. Ricardo, I hope to see you on the panel next time, man. You so active in the chat. Oh yeah, I forgot to say what's up. Piece of tequila also. You've been so active in the chat. We need you up on this panel, man. You know, everybody's part of the Straight Talk Society. Everybody makes this thing go. I always say, I'm just the man with the microphone. That's literally my whole tagline. I'm just the guy with the microphone. I got people working behind the scenes, helping this thing go, helping build this platform because they see it. They've been pushing me for years to try to do this. So I appreciate the support for everybody. I appreciate Solar and Angel coming over. You know, I think they got a interview session lined up tonight, if I'm not mistaken, but they still came over, you know, to support me. And I appreciate that. Yeah, I think I got everything out of the way. I've been sitting here, 2.5 hours now. So I think that's it. I don't have anything else left to say. So in closing, you guys know I always leave you with these words of wisdom. Always seek out the truth for yourself, because if not, you'll fall victim to other people's interpretations of them. Until tomorrow morning, peace.
But it's a must, you gon' respect this. Plus your nuts will touch the dust, you tryna check this. You ain't insane, I write your name down on my checklist. You think I'm playing, I leave you laying, I leave you breathless. I'm not a heathen, please believe I'm breathing for a reason. Until I'm bleeding, really feeling this world is so misleading. Sacrifice your life at night while facing certain sorrow. Your existence is at stake, you might not make tomorrow. Lost my heart when I was crossed, don't wanna make amends. Much too smart, my afterthought, don't wanna make no friends. If you're a fraud, then it's so hard to get a second chance. You could die in front of my eyes, won't get a second glance. As human beings, instead of being so many try to be. You ain't seen what I have seen in my society. So F the killers, F the dealers, F the police. Middle finger in the sky till I die, no peace. Middle finger to the world, every man, every woman, every boy, every girl.
Always seek out the truth for yourself.